Hello and good morning. I see one person in the live. Welcome and thanks for joining me this morning. Hope all is well with you. Always be prepared. Good morning. How are you doing? You see my thumbnail. It says, "Are you a worker bee?" Are you a worker bee? Always be prepared. Just waiting for a few more people to jump on. Can you not sleep tonight? Always be prepared. You're welcome. Thanks for always coming and watching and supporting me. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll have a couple more people jump in here in a minute. No, busy bee. I'm a busy bee. I'm such a busy bee, I can't shut my brain off at night to sleep. Mm-hmm. You're up all night? I went to bed last night. I think it was like at 9 p.m. This is the third night in a row, and I don't know what's going on, but third night in a row that I wake up at 2 a.m. and I'll stay up until about, 4, 5, 6, and then lay back down. Get right back up at 7 or 8 and be at it again. I've got 2 people in here now. Hello? Hear my dog back there. She's scooting around. So yeah, the topic today is, are you a busy bee? I've been, it rained for 2 days, so I had 2 days to chill out and relax. But 2 days ago, I worked in the garden and I planted a bunch of stuff. I went to bed early, slept 3 hours. Wow. Planted a bunch of stuff in the garden. I was regretting that. That really hurt my back. I just overdo it. And I get a notion in my head to go, 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 and I can't stop. And then yesterday, I worked on, with my husband, a turkey pen. And I knew I should have stopped, but I just kept on working till it was accomplished. We got 3 people in here now. Hello and welcome. I take it that's 3 people that can't sleep tonight or this morning. Hope all is well with you. Please hit the thumbs up. Share it out if you have that capability. Ooh. Had 3, dropped down to 1. Always be prepared. Where are you at? Are you Eastern Standard Time? Everyone in my household is still asleep. That's why it's so dark in here. Sorry. I'm being respectful, not turning any lights on. I was hoping more people would jump in this morning. Be nice if somebody decided to jump on the panel with me. That's always fun. Got 2 people in here again. Hello and welcome. Hope all is well with you. I keep switching between my StreamYard and the YouTube screen, so if you see it bright and dim, that's why. Wow. I guess there isn't too many people awake right now. So what do you do when you can't sleep? Always be prepared. You just skim around YouTube, see who's live, see what's going on. Got 4 people in here. Hello and welcome. Hope you're all doing well. What's going on? Why are you up so early? You getting ready for work, or you can't sleep, or are you a busy bee? Always smoke a joint. I woke up at 2 and my back was flared up pretty bad, so my husband rubbed some CBD salve on my back. So that helped quite a bit. It always does. I can't do the other stuff because it messes with my head too much. I get really paranoid and I don't like it. Hey, 5 to 10, how you doing? I woke up at 2 and couldn't get back to sleep. My mind doesn't like to shut off at night, so I'll wake up a lot, or my back will flare up, and I'll wake up and can't get back to sleep. What are you doing up so late? Been drinking. I'm about to lay down in a few. Okay. Took me a second. I was hoping that didn't say fire. Always be prepared going back to bed. Well, you have a good night's sleep. I hope you feel better when you wake up, and I will see you around. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I just want to jump on a live, see if I could distract myself from this pain, this flare up, and see if anybody else was on. We got 3 people here. What are you drinking? 5 to the 10. Figured I'd do like an hour live, and then I'll probably lay back down myself. We'll see how my back's feeling. Seems like when I lay too long in bed, that's when my back flares up, or if I sit too long. If you can, share this out. Maybe that's what I should do, is share it out so I can get some more people in here. Everybody's probably still asleep though. Let's see. If I can figure out how to do this. I'm still half asleep, I think. Alright, I just shared it out. Hopefully we'll get a couple more people in. Got 3 people watching. Hello. Hope all is well with you. Up late like the rest of us. I uploaded it and a video to upload and edited a video yesterday. Working on the turkey pen, so that should be uploaded here soon. Sunday. It'll be Sunday when it uploads, so I hope you all have a chance to check that out. I thought it turned out pretty good. I'm going to share this live stream out on Facebook as well. Do any of you have any major projects going on? I don't know who else. I don't know who's all in the chat, but I see 3. Anything going on? Are you rebuilding anything or building something? That's nothing. Trying to share this out and I clicked on the wrong thing. Got 2 people in here. Hello. It's not what I want. I can't work my electronics today. Thankfully, it's not raining or storming anymore, though. Hopefully, it'll start warming back up. When it started raining 2 days ago, it brought the temperature down. It was super cold. At least for me, it was. So I'm hoping today the sun will be out and shining, and I can get out there and get some vitamin D. Alright, got this shared out. So yeah, today will probably be an easy day. If it's really nice and sunny, I would like to go mushroom hunting today. I don't know if we'll get that accomplished or not, but it would be nice. Sunflower Prepper, hello. Thanks for coming in. I'm doing okay. Just can't sleep tonight. Had a little bit of a back flare up and my mind won't shut off. I'm thinking about a million things. How are you doing? What are you up to? Can you not sleep either, or are you on the West Coast? Or well, you would be. What time is it here? 4? It'd only be like 2 or 1 on the West Coast, I think. Depending where you are. If you can, please share the stream out. Hit the thumbs up. I just shared it out on Facebook and on my community tab. I've got 6 thumbs up. Awesome. Appreciate that. Oh, I'm the same. Yes, cannot sleep. I'm in the East Coast. Oh, okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with me, Sunflower Prepper. Every night for the last 3 nights, I've been getting up at 2, staying up for a few minutes or a few hours, and then going back to bed. And it's messing my whole days up. Hey, Trust in God, thanks for coming in. It's good to see you. 4:43 a.m. here in Maryland. Okay, yeah, it's 4:43 here. Well, 4:44 now. You're not too far from me here in Ohio. My husband's mom used to live in Maryland, and when she got older in life, she used to tell me all kinds of stories about Maryland. how much she loved it. She had a lot of friends there and family, I guess. She talked more about her friends than her family, though. What are you doing up, trusting God? You had a really good live stream yesterday. It went forever. It was good, though. I enjoyed it. Trusting God, I'm in Texas. Hugs. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. 3:44 there. Early. We just got, I don't know if you heard me talking, but I did, me and my husband and my dad, we all worked on a turkey pen yesterday. My turkey, my Tom turkey, he lost his mate this year, so we have turkey chicks coming on Tuesday. It'll be a while before I can put them in the pen, but I pinned him up yesterday. Same boat as me. We fixed the pen, and that should be out on Sunday as a premiere, so I hope people will get to see that and watch it and get ideas. Nothing fancy or anything. We just use what we have around here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming to watch, support. If you can, share this out, thumbs up it. I shared it out on Facebook in my community tab. But hopefully the baby chicks will be here. I'm supposed to pick them up on Tuesday. I'll probably put them in a little cage and put them inside Thomas's pen so they can get used to each other. Yeah, I love my turkeys. And then I'll do a video Tuesday when I go pick up the baby turkeys too. So we'll see how Thomas reacts when he sees. Thomas is a really, really good turkey. When Joel was still alive and she was laying on eggs and hatching them out, I just loved watching them because Joel would, run around and eat, peck in the grass or whatever. And Thomas would take over the motherly chores or whatever, the fatherly chores. And all the babies would run with him. It was like they would take turns parenting. I loved watching that. So I'm excited to have turkeys again. I feel bad for Thomas because he keeps trying to hang out with the chickens, and Rooster doesn't want him hanging out with any of his hens, so they've been fighting. The rooster likes to egg on Thomas. And you would think it was Thomas always picking on the rooster, but it's not. It's the rooster picking on Thomas. They like to go at it. It's fun to watch. I need to do a short or something. I don't know though. Trust in God, do you keep up on the things that are changing on YouTube? Yeah, poor Thomas. He just wants a friend. So he's hanging out with the hens. I just seen a post from Ridge Life when I woke up. I'm not sure what time he posted it or anything. I guess it was 18 hours ago. And I guess he said that YouTube was changing the ability for others to sample your videos. Not only is the default to allow it, they went back and allowed it on all past videos. So I don't know exactly what that means, but he's not happy about it, and the people that commented on it is not happy about it. And in the comments, like I said, I don't understand the post. I'll have to research it more. But in the comments, what it sounded like was that YouTube is giving people the capability to use your music in their videos or be able to take stuff out of your video and use it. I'm not sure though. Hey, Christ is the answer. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Hope all is well with you. We've got 5 people in here now. Wow. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Please hit the thumbs up. Share me out if you can. Most of us in the chat can't sleep, so we're in here chit-chatting. But have you heard anything like that, trust in God? Or do you understand it? YouTube has been changing a lot. Changing numbers also. Yeah, I know. I was really shocked. I got in my YouTube studio, you know how they put a little message at the top of your page. Thank you, Sunflower Prepper. And when I went in there the other day, it said that my subscriber count may be off. And then the very next day, I went and checked it again, and my subscriber count jumped to like, I think it was like 38 or 39 new subscribers. I'm like, what is going on? So I don't know if they're holding those subscribers and then like letting them onto my page after a while, or what's going on. It's really weird. I just got back from Bullhead, Arizona. Oh, wow. Did you drive or fly? Or I don't know where you're at. Christ is the answer. So how far did you have to travel to get to Arizona? We were also talking about the turkey pen I was working on, and that premiere will be out on Sunday evening, so I hope you all can watch that. Oh, you're in California. I have a lot of family in Northern California, about Redding and Chico area, Red Bluff, 400 miles. Wow. Were you there to visit family or just went to visit Arizona? I've never been to, you're in Southern California. I've never been to Arizona. I've traveled a lot, but Arizona is one place I haven't traveled to. I don't know why, probably because I don't have family there. Most of the states I've traveled to, I've had family there. When I was 18, I was wild and crazy, and I left. I was raised in Ohio, but I was born in California. And when I was 18 and I graduated, I just packed everything in my truck and didn't tell anybody I left. And I drove all over the West Coast, went to lots and lots of states. YouTube messing with creators who do not monetize and have big subscribers also. I believe we broke their on music stuff. Just to visit, it was 100 degrees. Oh, that would be nice. I would like to be in 100 degrees weather right now. I'm so cold. YouTube messed with me pretty hard too, because one day it was saying that I had everything I needed to have to be monetized, and then the next day it said I didn't, then I did, then I didn't. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna wait until I have it was like 4,200 4,200 watch hours. And then I went to my monetization page and signed up for monetization. Now I'm just waiting for a review. I had no idea it took up to a month to become monetized. Learn something new every day. I'm so tired too. My typing's off. So sorry. You're okay. Your typing hasn't been off yet. That I seen anyway. I'm super tired too. I can't run my electronics. I was trying to share it out on my phone and it took me like 5 minutes. So hopefully it doesn't take a whole month to get monetized, but I guess it can if they even accept me into the partner program. Yeah, hurry up and wait. We'll see. But if I do get monetized, that'll give me a lot of more options. There's some things I'd like to do. I'd like to offer people on YouTube some coaching for keto, and I think that would help out a lot of people, like one-on-one coaching. And that was the whole purpose of me starting YouTube, is to help others and help educate and help people live a more sustainable lifestyle. So hopefully I'm on the road to do that. I've got a few more ideas too. I don't know. We'll see. And then this month coming up in May, I've got the keto low carb bake off, and this month, or in May, it'll be a cookie challenge. So if anybody wants to participate in that, that would be awesome. And of course, Lily's Chocolate is sponsoring that month with some chocolate. I was at 2,500 watch hours on live hours, and now back down to 1,700. That's a huge drop. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't understand why they're messing with the numbers like that so much. I mean, I'm pretty new to YouTube. I'm still learning everything. I've only been on YouTube 9 months now. Wait, maybe it's longer than that. June will be 12 months I've been on, I think. Yeah, June will be 12 months that I've been on YouTube. Doesn't seem like it's been that long. But I'm still learning. I don't know a lot of stuff. Seems like every time I turn around, there's something new I gotta learn. YouTube can be crazy. Yeah. What is that? Trust in God first. What is CITA? Probably to mess with the algorithm of our videos. Probably. That's not cool though. I was thinking about doing like a Patreon account or something like that, but yeah, YouTube's like keeps me busy enough as it is. I don't know if I could handle doing another platform. Okay, mind blow. I told you I'm not awake yet. It's funny. I feel like a ditz now. Sorry, guys. Oh, thank you, Sunflower Pepper. It's so funny too, because like I can do these lives and not be like super nervous or anything, but when I go to do a video, I'm like so nervous. I stutter over my words, and I don't know what. You think it would be the other way around. You think I'd be nervous when I did lives, but for some reason with lives I'm more comfortable. Me either, half asleep. I want to learn how to make keto breakfast bars. Like what type of keto breakfast bars? I do keto granola bars, and I also do keto granola, and that's really good. And instead of using oats or anything like that, I use different nuts, and it gives like the same consistency or texture, I guess you could say, as granola. Trust in God. That's why I do lives more. Okay, so I'm not the only one. I thought I was just like the weirdo that got nervous during videos. Something for coffee, for breakfast. I've got a lot of breakfast videos out. I love breakfast. That's like one of my favorite. I don't know. I love food, but breakfast is probably my favorite meal of the day. I do keto waffles and keto pancakes. What else do I do? I do chia pudding. Well, it's called, it's not, I always say it pudding, but it's not pudding. It's chia oatmeal. And I love oatmeal. And that was one of my struggles when I started keto too. I wanted something with that same type of hot cereal consistency. So I started making chia oatmeal. And I have that almost every single morning. I really enjoy the oatmeal. I love pancakes too. My coffee, I do decaf coffee. I love the taste of coffee, but I have a lot of anxiety, and that caffeine like really kicks it into overdrive. So I do decaf coffee, and I'll do heavy whipping cream in it and stevia. And I will do a teaspoon or a tablespoon of butter, depending on how much fat I want that day. It's called a bulletproof coffee, and that's really good. I like it with the salted butter because you get the sweet, salty taste. I get nervous too, and I have been on TV, so I don't know why I get so nervous. Oh, that's awesome. Where were you on TV for? Well, when you find the perfect breakfast for me, or I can't even talk. When you find the perfect breakfast for you, let me know what it is. I'm curious to know. I love helping people on a keto journey. I wish more people would reach out. I've had a couple people like email me for help, and I help them a couple of times, and then I never hear from them again, which is kind of bummer. I'm curious to know what you've been on TV for. Christ is the answer. News and Judge Judy, really? That's awesome. I love Judge Judy. That's cool. Hopefully you weren't the one Judge Judy was yelling at. I was younger then. I can't say that nope, I've never been on TV, ever. I can't handle the stevia. Well, there's other options out there. I just prefer stevia because I can grow it myself. I want to be able to produce whatever I eat or drink. So that's my reasoning for stevia. And I don't mind it. To me, I know a lot of people say it has an aftertaste and everything, but I think I've just been on stevia for so long, I don't have an aftertaste anymore. She actually loved me. My son met her too. Oh, that's awesome. I use honey instead. Just worry about that much honey is bad for you. Yeah, that honey will raise your insulin levels. But they have monk fruit out there that you can use. They also have swerve. I can never say that word. Starts with an X. Erythritol. They have erythritol. But I don't really like to suggest erythritol to people because erythritol is poisonous to cats and dogs. And if you have, or at least in my opinion, if I have cat and dog in the house, which I do, I don't want it in the house. I don't want to accidentally poison my cat or dog. That would be horrible. It was on channel 7 and Spanish channel. Awesome. I was on Bowling for Dollars, but you guys may not know that show. It was a Baltimore show long, long time ago. Yeah, I've never heard of it, but that's awesome too. Do you remember that show, Bozo, the clown. You remember that? I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to go on that show so bad. He had to throw the little, I think they were ping pong balls into like the bucket. Yeah, I love to bowl too. I can't do all that twisting with my back anymore though. There's a lot of things I used to love to do I can't really do anymore. I'm scared I'm either going to fall or twist my back the wrong way, and it's not worth it. Yes, Bozo was the bomb. I love Bozo. I was trying to get on Bozo, and my little sister, she was trying to get on Barney. Hated Barney. Yeah, your knee. I really didn't do much yesterday. Like I helped put the turkey pen together. There was 3 of us working on it, and I really didn't do much, or at least I don't think I did. I didn't feel like I did much, and I don't know. It flared up my back big time. I had a really hard evening and a night and morning. Obviously, I was on Double Dutch. Remember that kid game show? I don't remember that one. Maybe I'll look it up and remember it. Double Dutch. I still have Rob Zombie searched in my search bar from Trust in God's Live yesterday. Okay, yep, nope, don't remember that. I never seen that Double Dutch before. So you're a jump roper? I don't know if Bozo was a Chicago show or not. And hello, Han Solo, how are you doing? I've never met Rob Zombie, but I love Rob Zombie movies, which is really weird because I hate scary movies. I like, I guess you could say I like scary movies, but they have to be realistic. I don't like the paranormal or like, I guess you could say demonic movies. But I like more realistic movies. Like I love the Chainsaw Massacre and the Rob Zombie movies and what was that one? I love that one. It's got Reese Witherspoon in it, and oh, what's his name? I can't think of it. But it's called Highway. Have you guys ever seen that one? I like more realistic things. The only famous person I met when I lived in Montana was, well, I guess I have met a couple famous. In Montana, I met Kid Rock, which was awesome. And I got to actually go to a house party with him. And then I went and seen Hank Williams Jr., the Charlie Daniels Band, and the Judds in concert. And I got to meet Winona and Naomi Judd, which was awesome because they're all time my favorite country artists. He used to make you run a course and put slip on you. Slime on you when you didn't get the right answer. Oh, no, I wouldn't like that. Same sleep situation as you. Jealous now. Kid Rock would be cool to me. It was cool. I was up in, a lot of my family lives in Kalispell, Montana. At the time, I lived in Quorum, Montana. And, but my best friend, she lived in Kalispell, and we were just hanging out, chilling, partying, whatever, driving around town, and all of a sudden we seen this yellow Lamborghini like speed past us, and I did that like double look, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was Kid Rock. And he went up to can't ever remember what that hotel is called. I think it's called Big Mountain, but I'm not sure. But it was in Whitefish, and it's a very expensive lodge. It's a hotel that looks like a cabin. It's beautiful. And he went up there and he went to the bar, and it was in the middle of the day, and nobody was in the bar except for him. So me and my girlfriend went in there and we bought him a drink, and we just sat there and chilled and talked with him. It was awesome. And then we got invited to his house that he had there in Whitefish, Montana, and we got to go to the party. But it kind of stinks. I mean, he came out of his bedroom and addressed everybody and said hi and told us we could stay as long as we wanted to. But then he went right back into his bedroom and stayed there the rest of the night. So we got to meet him for a couple of minutes. But I met a lot of rappers, but I grew up in Long Beach, California, and Compton, so grew up with a lot of them. Wow. That's awesome. My son met Keanu Reeves. I love Keanu Reeves. He's a good one too, I think. When he did the movie Replacements, yeah, Keanu Reeves would have been awesome to meet. Yes, he said he was a very nice, good guy. Yeah, Keanu Reeves has some really good history behind him. He went through a lot of stuff in his childhood, but no matter what he went through, he always had a caring and loving heart. And I hope he is a good one out of Hollywood, because there's not many. And the more I hear about movie stars or whatever you want to call them from my childhood watching, I'm just so disappointed. Yeah. I when I really like somebody, an actress or actor or singer or anything like that, I really dig deep. I want to know about them and see if they're good people. Yeah, if you get a chance, look into Keanu Reeves' history. He went through a lot, and he helped a lot of people too. I won't give it away because his story is mind-blowing. I don't know if anybody else likes looking stuff up like that, but I'm a huge history buff. I love learning about history, and I love learning about people and their history, their ancestors, and things like that. Yes, me too, Keto. Awesome. Time is it? It's 5:13 here. Everything is so pitch black outside. I hope we have sun today. I need some warmth in my life. Does anybody have any big plans for today? I will look him up. Awesome. My husband told me I wasn't allowed doing anything today because my back's been flared up for the last few days. It's so hard though. There's always so much to do, and I am not the type of person to be sitting around or anything. I always have to be doing something. 2:13 a.m. here. That's about what time I got up. Christ is the answer. If it rains, I will hide out, laugh out loud. If sun, I will prep shop. Yes, I'm going to try to sleep. I'm going to do my garden, and we'll see. I still have stuff to put in my garden too. And if I don't do it, it doesn't get done. So That's why I always push myself to use CBD. Yeah, I do. Actually, when I woke up at 2 o'clock, I sometimes I don't realize that I'm in pain and I'm sleeping. And like this morning, I was moaning and crying in my sleep, so my husband woke me up, and he had rubbed me down with some CBD salve, and that helps a little bit. It did help quite a bit. And then, like usually in the morning when I first wake up, I'll do like, what am I doing? I can't think. I do the CBD oil. I'll take some of that, and then that will usually get me through until like afternoon, 12, 1 o'clock. And then I also have a vape of CBD. Thank you, Sunflower Prepper. I will. It just kind of stinks sometimes. Yeah, I use it when sometimes I'll take a really, really hot shower, really, really hot Epsom salt bath, and that helps too. No, like the oil doesn't. Well, the oil doesn't, and the salve obviously doesn't give me munchies or anything. But I've noticed the vape does a little bit, but not much, just a tiny bit. But I've noticed if I like smoke the flower, then I will get the munchies. But either way, if I smoke the flower or the vapor, then I get like really bad cotton mouth, and I don't like that. I'd rather just do the oil, but that's just personal choice. The vape and the flower, it's fine. I just don't like having that cotton mouth. But at the same time, I can't always afford my oil. Like I have to do, for it to even touch my back, I have to do a 1,500 milligram bottle. So I'm taking anywhere from 25, depending on the pain and the severity. I'll take 25 or 75 milligrams of CBD oil, and it's super, super expensive. We're on a very limited budget. So to be able to make that oil last longer, that's why I do the vape and the flower. I do not like cotton mouth either, no. Prayers that you get better. Thank you, Christ, is the answer. No munchies for me. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Sweet dreams. If you can sleep, laugh out loud. God bless. Good night, Sunflower. I hope you have a good sleep. Stay healthy, happy, and safe, and we'll see you soon. Yeah, I wish my back would get better. I'm sick of it. I blew my L4 and my L5, and I blew it so bad working in the nursing home that I had to have emergency surgery. I had to be rushed to surgery. It was that bad because my spinal cord was like everything was, the nerves are pressing on my spinal cord. It was pretty severe, I guess. And it was potentially going to paralyze me. So they had to rush me in and get surgery done. And then I was so mad. They released me to go back to work, which all I've done, most of my life, all I've done is nursing home. And I figured I'd go back to the nursing home for a couple of months until I could find another career or another job. And I tried to get disability, but the surgeon wouldn't allow it. He said that he was writing me to go back to work. So I went back to work and I blew those same discs. So I have those discs blown again. It's crazy. I was so paranoid the first time I smoked it because the cops always give you that look. Trust in God first. If you haven't seen my video on CBD, I can't do the real stuff. I get so nervous and scared and my heart beats out of my chest. But I did a CBD review on a company in West Virginia gave me a sample of CBD flower to try. If you get a chance, go back into my videos and watch that, because that was pretty comical. It's funny now, but at the moment it wasn't. Like I said, I have anxiety and PTS really bad. So before even trying the CBD, I had already like psyched myself out and was already giving myself anxiety. And then I did the video on it, and you could see, like, I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never tried it before. I was just smoking it like a cigarette. And I had a couple people contact me like, you can't smoke it like that. You only need like a drag or maybe two. And I'm just like puffing away. And all of a sudden you can see it on my face. It just like hits me out of nowhere. And I'm like, on the video. You go watch it. It's pretty comical. That happened to me, but they paid for me to go to school and went for medical and billing and coding. Same here. I did watch it. It made me more scared. Oh, it was okay though, trust in God, because like it was scary at first. And like I said, I completely psyched myself out. Like I didn't understand CBD back then. So I psyched myself out. But I turned that camera off for just a couple of minutes, and I went back to the bedroom, and the bedroom is like my safe zone. If people in here have anxiety or PTSD, you understand. My bed is my safe zone. So I went back and laid on my bed, and literally 2 minutes later, my husband was rubbing me while I was laying there. And 2 minutes later, I got up, and I was like, I don't know how to explain it. I was just so at peace and calm. I felt like jello. I just felt so relaxed. And then after that, I'm like, okay, well, that didn't, give me any psychoactive thing in my brain. So I'm okay with it now. Don't be scared. Trust in God. Good morning, Dawn. How are you doing? Thanks for coming in. I don't know what med beds are. No idea what that is. But thanks for coming in. Hope you hit the thumbs up. And if anybody in here can share me out, I'd appreciate it. We got 4 people in the chat watching. Traffic's starting to pick up outside. I think I freaked out the first time too, but it was all in my head. Yeah. And that's the thing with like anxiety. I don't know how severe your anxiety is, or even if you have PTSD, but my anxiety is pretty severe. Anytime I try something new, I have a lot of anxiety. Like any type of supplement I put in my mouth, I don't know. It takes me a really long time to try something new. Like the CBD, when I was first messing around with it, I literally had that CBD for a month before I could work up the courage to try it. And that's the same thing with supplements or pills or anything like that. It takes me a really long time to work up the courage to try it. But now that I know a little bit more about CBD and I'm not so naive, now like if I smoke it in the vapor or flower form, I only do like very, very little. I do like a half of a drag. Like I suck that in just a tiny bit. Same with the vapor. And I guess it's a control thing. I feel like with a pill, I can't like control how much I'm taking. You're just taking a pill. But like with the oil or the salve or the smoke, you can actually control how much you take in. So I just do a tiny bit. And if I need more later, I'll do another tiny bit. I used to only get 10 people in my lives, now about 20 or 40. And I get nervous about not having anything to talk about. I really depend on the panel and chats to make the stream. Yeah, trust in God. I don't like, I put the StreamYard link out all the time and try to get people on the panel with me. They don't want to come up here. I don't know what the deal is. I shouldn't say that because, like, in the evenings are, like, the best time for me to live stream. That's when I have, you know, anywhere from 10 to 15 people in my live streams. In the morning like this, I usually only get two to 6 people, maybe sometimes 10, but not very often. But the morning lives that I do, I can't ever get anybody on my panel. I don't know if that's because they have bed hair or morning breath or what's going on. I will send you a link in a minute. They are beds you will be able to sleep in. They cure cancer, autism, dementia, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and more. Awesome. I don't only just talk about keto, they trust in God. And I hope that's not what everybody else is worried about, too. Ooh, woohoo. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, I don't always just talk about keto. I talk about homesteading and the animals. And
oh, I know you do. Sorry, I don't have a shirt on, so I'm trying to keep the camera up. I don't want any Russian ladies out without my hair on my chest.
You don't want any women stalkers coming at you?
Yeah, right. Like, dude, he's got hair. Shave.
Oh, Lord. Well, then, if they say that, I don't think they're real women.
Like, don't you know how to manscape? Yeah, I do. I just don't like doing it on my chest.
Were we talking about manscaping? Yes.
See, now you know how I feel. I'm coming up from the hell. We don't talk about keto because I don't know anything. I'm talking about Snicker bars. I used to eat Snicker bars. I don't anymore. But
have you ever seen my video of how much I weighed before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still watching your beginning videos because I'm really trying to go into keto.
Yeah.
I figured if I could tackle the breakfast, I used to never eat breakfast and just have coffee, go to work, and work all day till dinner time to eat. I wouldn't eat the whole day because I was so busy.
Yeah.
Now breakfast is, I see that's the meal I want. I can go the rest of the day and not eat, but I need to have breakfast. So
yeah,
that's why I'm trying to concentrate, trying to figure out what do I really like a lot that I can make like on a Sunday and make it last at least till Wednesday or Thursday. That's why I like keto bars or something.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to work on a keto biscotti, but it hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
So I just can't get the right taste to it.
It's kind of difficult sometimes when you're trying to come up with a new recipe with keto, but once you get it, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. It challenges you to try new things.
Yeah. So you like my halo?
Uh-huh.
I tell everybody that's my halo. It's waiting for me.
It's funny.
Christ is sorry. No, go ahead.
Christ is the answer says, I can talk your head off in person, but get nervous on the chat.
Huh.
I can do the chat just fine, but when I talk to people in person, then I get nervous.
Yeah, long time no see, Cedar, or a long time you don't see me, Cedar. We used to talk every night on somebody's stream or another in the back. So then she disappeared for like a week, and then I disappeared, and we're finally meeting up again, all these places.
Oh, that's cool.
So
you're following each other around YouTube.
Yeah. But I don't know what what she's still doing. I know what I'm doing. I only sleep like 2 hours, and I'm up for like 6, and then another 2 hours, and I'm like,
well, that's how it was like a few months ago. I was on that schedule. I'd only sleep a couple hours, wake up, sleep a couple hours, be back up, and that went on for months. And then I was able to get to bed early. I started sleeping, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and then waking up at 5 a.m. Well, that went on for about a month, and now I'm stuck in this waking up at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning for the last 3 nights. I'm like, what is going on?
yeah. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Sorry, I'm putting a shirt on now. I can't sit that way. It's bothering my neck. This will be so. Put a hat on so I don't have to comb my hair. Ta-da!
Now you can sit properly.
Yeah, you're lucky you got your husband to be able to rub the oils and stuff. I can't ever get the middle of my back. And I've tried different contraptions and all that, and it just never gets where I need it.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck in I take a lot of baths with the Epsom salt. It kind of helps, but
they've got the I haven't personally tried it, but they've got the CBD oil like bath bombs or whatever they call them. You just throw them in the bathtub. I wonder if that would help you.
No idea.
And then you could just lay down in the tub and not worry about rubbing it. It'll just soak in.
Don't have to worry about falling asleep and drowning.
Just take a snorkel to the tub with you.
Oh my God. Yeah, the first time I smoked the stuff.
Yeah.
I smoked the whole thing. I didn't know either. And then I saw your video afterwards, like, oh my God, I got all this in my system. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I slept that night though. After doing it, I slept so good. I finished my video. I came back on my video because I had shut the camera off, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I don't even know what I said now, but after I shut that camera off, I went to bed and I slept like a baby. I did not toss, turn, move, or wake up all night.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a little bit of like a warm sensation, like a head rush, because I did so much at one time.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, because we got a drug emporium here that has it. And we got like one personal CBD store. It's a nice couple. They have it also, but I mean, they're a little bit more expensive than Drug Emporium. But I saw those bath bombs. I'm like, well, I really don't know. And that was the thing in my mind. I saw them as like, yeah, I'd put it in there. I'd relax so much, I'd drown. I'm like, so of course my doctor doesn't even see me anymore in the VA because they're dead set against me using CBD. So I'm like,
yeah, that's why I see I see a chiropractor, and most chiropractors are naturopathic. They're trained in natural medicine. So that's who I see when it comes to my medicine, because my doctors aren't into it either. Yeah. They weren't even into the keto. They were really angry with me when I started keto.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'm not going to see you anymore then.
Yeah. I see a pharmacist on the phone. That's basically all I see, and that's for my high blood pressure. So.
Yeah. Do you still have blood pressure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get it down to I don't use the pills because I really don't like the pills.
Yeah.
But until, because I drink ginger tea at night, and then I'm trying to drink more tea than coffee. But that's, like I said, until I find a replacement for honey.
Yeah.
I'll have 2 cups of tea. But I'm so prone. I got the little spoons. I mean, I know it's not a lot of honey, but that probably equals out to 1 teaspoon of freaking honey out of the 2 cups I put honey in. But I just don't want to overdo it with the honey, and then if I could turn around and mess something else up, trying to get my blood pressure down. So
Yeah, you start raising your insulin levels.
Yeah. So, well, they keep saying I'm pre-diabetic, but even the pharmacist said the only reason they got that is because they changed the numbers because the pharmaceutical people changed the numbers.
Yeah.
Make more people pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, if they're going to play with the numbers like that, I might as well try to get that number down even more now, so they can't later say, yeah, you are diabetic. So
yeah. Well, that's what they kept telling me. But I was 296 pounds, so I probably was pre-diabetic. But I have blood pressure issues and the pre-diabetes. Morning. What do you want?
Tobacco.
Morning, Mr. Keto.
Morning.
This is Trust God First.
How's it going?
I still can't. I saw that video where you were shoving all those pills down him. I felt so bad. I mean, it was funny, but I felt so bad for you. Like, man, that's my daily routine. Only I'm doing it to myself.
And when he said that those pills taste like rotten grass, I lost. Oh, that was a good one. He makes me laugh so hard. But that's what I was telling him. He's like, oh my goodness, all these pills. But that's the thing about like natural pills. Once they build up in your system, you don't have to take them forever. It's just for until you can build it up in your system.
Yep.
So that's the good thing about natural stuff. Pharmaceuticals you just have to take for the rest of your life, and I'm not into that. Especially since our medications come from another country. You know, if something was to happen, what's everybody going to do? Nobody's going to have the medications they need.
Yeah. Good night, Sita. Sweet dreams, sweetie.
Good night.
Hopefully her husband lets her sleep. He's probably hugging the whole bed.
Oh.
No. I'm still trying to catch up on Dawn.
Do you know Dawn?
No, I've just seen her on here.
Okay. What'd you say?
Oh, hi, Dawn.
Because I was cold. I turned the stove on to heat up my kitchen.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I live in an adobe house. If I turn the oven on, it warms up the whole house. I don't need the heater on. I just turn the stove on and it takes care of it. It's a regular stove.
Yeah. So. That's what I do for the kitchen anyway. We live in a trailer, so it's kind of airy.
I'm jealous. I moved from a trailer to this adobe house. I like the adobe house, but I miss a lot of things in a trailer, and a lot of people don't like trailers.
Yeah.
But until you live in one for a while, then you really don't.
I don't mind trailers, but we don't have.
Hey, as long as you're not a pack rat like my wife, a trailer's all right.
Hey, now.
That's why you just build her a she shed and say all the stuff you want to collect can only fit in the she shed. But just don't tell her it's a 4x4 and that's all she gets.
I got to build her a greenhouse.
Yeah, it's a 2-bedroom trailer. It's an older one, but it works. But the second bedroom I've turned into like my pantry and my grow room.
Mm-hmm.
So half the room's a grow room, half the room's a pantry, and then I do a lot of canning. So I have all kinds of crazy canning equipment everywhere.
Yeah, one of these days after I handle my PTSD and basically being nervous and stuff, my anxiety, I'm going to try pressure cooking. Hey, Arkansas. Morning,
hey, Arkansas. How you doing? Trying to mess up the internet. What are you doing up?
She's trying to fix the internet.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it, not break it. No, we were just talking about YouTube earlier, like doing all crazy stuff. Dawn says she has a she shed. I can't say that. She shed.
Mark's one?
No, this is another Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
Have you ever tried natural calm, trust in God?
No, I've heard of it, but I've never tried it.
That works really good at nights for me. Just to calm you down and stuff. But my naturopathic, she put me on a regimen of stuff like, I'd say, what was it, about 6 months ago, my anxiety and my nervousness was so bad I couldn't even get in the car to drive anywhere.
Yeah.
And she got that under control. I still get nervous going to town, but it's not as bad as what it used to be. And she put me on it's called 12 cell salts.
Yeah.
And that helped. And then she put me on a homeopathic pill that you just like put it under your tongue and it dissolves. But I didn't know that a lot of the homeopathic or natural medicines will quit working if you use any type of mint. So like your mint toothpaste or mint gum or anything, it counteracts all that.
Huh. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. So that's a good thing to know too.
Yeah. Oh, Arkansas, you had to go. You know what they say? You start getting up in the middle of the night going to gope, you're getting old, buddy.
Dawn says, I use doTERRA oils. I also use doTERRA oils, but sometimes when you have severe anxiety or severe PTSD, it's really hard for anything to touch it. Trying to get some thinking in. Somebody said we had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, mint is a natural oil.
Yeah, it's one of my things on my PTSD. If I see trash on the side of the road, I immediately slam the brakes on.
Yeah.
Being in Iraq for so many years and going through a lot of that stuff. And my doctor and psychiatrist that I was going to till I told him where to go, didn't understand that why I couldn't make appointments sometimes. Like sometimes I'm sitting in the car with it running, trying to psych myself out, and I have to wait for a good song to come on, and then I start singing it and start distracting myself with it. And says that's the only thing I've been able to do. I fought 5 years just to get an appointment with y'all. You know, and they're like, oh, well, that. It's like, I had to self-medicate without using medication because I couldn't get crap from the VA, and they don't understand that it does work. But so the psychiatrist said I was faking it, and I was like, okay, one of these days you need comes to live with me, and we'll just jump in the car. When I start driving and slam the brakes on, my kids have experienced it. That's why they don't ride with me anymore.
Yeah,
and I hate it. I won't travel outside the town, because that's where most of the trash is, out in the country on the sides and all that. And
yeah.
They don't get it.
You pick up some weird habits, that's for sure. And I've got my own little niches that I have, you know, that people don't understand. And it's hard to explain it to people that haven't been through it or don't understand what you're going through. And I think doctors and psychiatrists or therapists, they're the worst to talk to because they think they're educated and they know everything, and they don't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, believe me. I had to do that battle with my sister. She's been a doctor for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I finally broke her. I says, okay, I'm going to come in to your office. And I went one day to her office. You know, I used a different name, of course. The nurses played around, because they knew who I was. So she wouldn't know that I was the patient. And then she asked, what's wrong? I was like, are you telling me you're the doctor?
Yeah.
You take my blood pressure, you take my temperature, you should tell me what's wrong with me.
Right.
And it frustrated her. It's like, well, you're the one that educated. Your books tell you everything, so tell me what's wrong with me. I'm like, she couldn't do it. I'm like, well, I proved my case.
That's what me and my husband were talking. My husband is quite a bit older than me. My husband's 63, so he has more experience with the older time doctors, you know. He said back when he was a kid, the doctors actually tried to figure out what was wrong with you. And if they couldn't figure out what was wrong with you, they would research it and come back to you in a couple of days and be like, this is what I think it is. Nowadays, doctors bring you in there and they flip through a book and They just guess to see
Yeah.
what.
They even look at you when they walk in.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I wish it was like that. I wish we still had doctors that came to the houses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a lot more personable.
Yeah. When all my doctors retired, because I used to have older doctors, I used to always request older doctors because of that fact. They would actually listen. And
Yeah.
then, like you said, look it up and then get back with you and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah, and that's that thing. That's why I like my chiropractor, my naturopathic, is I can go in there and he'll actually listen to me. And the last time I was in there, he said something that really resonated with me. And he doesn't really know much about keto. So he's teaching me about, natural medicine, and I'm teaching him about keto. So we'll end up sitting in there for like an hour and a half or 2 hours just chit chatting. And the last time I was in there, he was like, I just want you to know that we're all students. We'll always be students. We're always learning something new. I don't know everything, just like you don't know everything. And I was like, that's pretty awesome.
yeah.
Like,
The only thing I ever tell anybody, I'm the stupidest man in the world, because you do learn something new every day if you actually just pay attention.
Yeah.
And people don't realize this. Oh, you're putting yourself down. It's like, no. I'm the smartest man in the world in my own little world, in my little bubble. Because I know everything about my life and what I need to do. But once I go outside that bubble, I'm the stupidest man in the world. And they just don't understand that. I'm sure you do understand that part. So, no, I don't want to go work with a highway pickup crews, huh? That means I got to wear that funky vest. I wore that vest enough in the military, just having to do PT. That alone would give you PTSD. Freaking having to wear the reflective belts and vests and all that. Like, really? I'm running on a track away from the freaking traffic. Why am I wearing a belt?
Yeah.
So cool. I didn't know your husband. So your husband and I are about the same age. Well, not quite, but almost the same age. So that's cool.
Yeah. He's a good old boy.
Yeah. He found himself a young filly.
Yeah.
I can't say that was bird to you. Going to.
No, I don't know. I'm a different breed, I guess. I guess it's because I like a lot of history. I've spent a lot of time in the nursing home taking care of people. And I just matured a lot younger than most people my age. And the people my age, they're not into the things I'm into,
Mm-hmm.
They don't like to garden or be outside. They all want to play video games or drink or do other worse things. And that's not me. I'm not into the party scene.
Yeah, well, I knew you were in that dying group, and I say dying group, don't take it the wrong way, but you know how to cook.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking nowadays, a lot of females do not know how to cook.
Yeah.
I mean, when you say cook, they're like, oh, McDonald's? I'm like, no, not McDonald's.
Yeah. It's funny because he has a lot of older friends, he has friends his age and stuff that are older than me. And they're always like, well, hook us up with one of your friends. Like, we need a girl like you that can cook and garden and homestead. And I'm like, I don't have friends. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, the people I do know personally in town, and stuff like that, they're not what you're looking for.
Yeah. So you got to go on like farmersdating.com or so. I don't even remember the name of the site. I used to joke about it when I see it on a commercial. But they're probably a better chance of actually knowing how to cook versus the city girl.
Right.
Who don't know. Like.
The bad thing about that is anybody can get on there and lie, though.
Mm-hmm. But it's funny because I told my kids, and they learn from experience from their mom. I told them, you get a girlfriend, I don't care what she does, but if she can't cook, dump her.
Yeah.
Right? And they saw with her mom and all that. And, I brought her mom when the boys were born. They had medical problems. So brought their mom over to help her. And the mom never left. I was in that situation. So the mom basically ruined our marriage more than anything else. She interfered too much.
Yeah.
But they saw how their mom was. Her mom still doesn't know how to cook, but she's like 40 something now.
That's
And
horrible.
yeah. So the first one got a girlfriend, and she heard the philosophy. She didn't know how to cook. She learned how to cook real quick, and she's still with one of my twins. And the other one, he dates, but nothing serious. I met one of his girlfriends today because I want to go install a gun safe with him, and she's like, "Oh, so you're the dad? You told him that I better learn how to cook, or he's going to dump me." He's like, "Yep." They literally take it offensive, but it's true. It's like, I taught my boys how to cook when they're, before they were 10. So they can fend for themselves. They knew how to do the laundry and everything else like I did. My grandparents taught me. So what is a woman going to give you? If you could do everything yourself, so you got to see what the value is.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you going to get married? If it's going to be a team effort, you both need to be able to do the same stuff. I'm not saying the woman should always cook, but if she's not working, she should be able to cook and while you're bringing home the bacon. Now,
Right.
if she's bringing home the bacon, you better be freaking scrubbing the floors and, it works out the same way, the teamwork thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of these young girls don't get that.
No. Well, and that's the thing. The guys don't get it either. They think that that's all they got to do is go to work and come home and that's it. Oh, I'm sorry to say, that's not the way it works.
Yeah, that's all they got to do. They're not going to have a girlfriend, though.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, my husband is, it's pretty awesome. Like, we get along really well. Some days he cooks, some days I cook. And he helps out with, the house chores, and I help out outside. So it works for us.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, too. Like, this younger generation, they really don't know how to cook or clean or do whatever they're supposed to be doing. I wasn't really raised. I had a pretty rough upbringing. I didn't have anybody teaching me how to cook or homestead or do half the stuff I do. I learned through life lessons. Like I said, I traveled a lot when I was a teenager. So I was in Montana and California and Las Vegas and all over the place. And then I went down the coastline to Texas, New Mexico, Louisiana. So I learned I never actually cooked the stuff myself, but watching different people all over the world cooking, I soaked that in. So when I finally did settle down, I didn't really know how to cook, but I watched all those people and I learned. I taught myself. So.
Yeah. Then I have to laugh. I try to explain to my kids, it's like all the places I've been around the world, because they've always asked me, you go to a restaurant, you never ordered the same thing. It's like, of course. Yeah. I've been all around the world. I've tried different things. And I go to restaurants. Yeah. If it's a favorite restaurant, it's because the service is good, the quality of the food is good and all that. But I want to try their different things and see, it's like, ooh, this tastes really good. I'm going to try it at home. I don't go to restaurants very often, but when I do, and they're like, Dad, you should be the kind, you like chicken fried steak. You should just order chicken fried steak all the time. Well, what if I want catfish? You get to order chicken fried steak because I'm your dad. And I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to eat all different types of food just to try it, see if I like it. Now that I'm in the stage of life that I'm in now, if I go out to eat, it's a very, very rare. The last time I went out to eat was 2 years ago when I got married, and it was after we got married, And now if I go out to eat, it's like, I don't know if you guys have this. It's kind of funny. Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite restaurant. And I'll go there just because they have steak and salad, and that's keto. I can eat those things. So I'll go there.
I don't know. I admit, I try to avoid that place because I'll eat up like 3 dozen biscuits.
Yeah, it was really hard after I went keto and I went to Texas Roadhouse for the first time and they had all those biscuits. I'm like, oh, I can't eat them. Don't do it. I'm like, and they came to bring the biscuits to the table and I'm like, no, please take them away.
Yeah.
Hey, Chef BC, how you doing? Thanks for coming in.
Good morning.
Thanks for showing some love.
Yeah, ketchup undone. Yeah. Well, I don't know. The new policy they're coming out with, Don, I don't think anybody's going to be retired because their plan is that nobody retires.
Yeah.
That you work until the day you die because you're so easily replaced. So,
Right.
I think it's more because they're finding out they can't come up with the money to put back into Social Security that they stole, that they're trying to come up with an excuse to cover it up. Just think about it. If they do away Social Security, where'd all that money go? I want my money back. That was my money you took out of me.
I agree. I'll probably never see Social Security.
No, the same here. And that's why, I mean, I retired at 42 and I got so much crap from my ex and everybody else. My kids understand. They just asked. They didn't give me crap. But they was like, you need to get another job. I was like, I already did my career. I've done my school.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I need to do anything else? I mean, I can live comfortably. I'm almost debt free. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm doing what I want to do. It's not like I'm jumping on a jet every day and flying to Paris for breakfast and then, Canada for lunch and then Guatemala for dinner or something. It's like, come on now.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm fighting for disability, and they are fighting me tooth and nail not to give it to me. I'm like, you know what? I put my years into work. I have all my work credits in. It's only fair, it wasn't my fault that I got injured.
No.
You should just pay out what is owed to me. I put my time in. I worked.
Yeah. Believe me, I got denied it. Luckily, the military gave me one, but that's not going to last forever.
Yeah.
And the Social Security one won't give me disability. Even though I qualify with it, I got federal doctors with all my symptoms and all that. They want their doctors. I'm like, what's your doctor going to do?
Yeah.
I got federal doctors with documents saying I'm disabled.
Yeah, that's what I'm going through right now, trusting God. Like, my family doctor is writing out statements saying I'm permanently disabled. And Social Security's fighting it tooth and nail, saying, well, we need our doctors to agree to that. If they don't agree to it, then we're just going to keep fighting, I guess. I don't know.
No, I know what's coming, Don. I know exactly what you're talking about.
We do too. We just don't. My channel is not about politics or prepping or anything like that. I would just like to come on and have a good time. And I go to other people's channels for that, like Trust in God and everything else.
When I try to do my words, just whatever anybody wants to talk about. Most time it's not about politics or anything going on. I mean, I'll warn the first 5 minutes I give weather and news, and I'll warn people of something real important. But I mean, and I agree about the mortgage thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew about that. That's why I rent. The worst comes to worst, is like, I'm out of here. I'll throw everything, and I'm out.
And that's where we're lucky. Like, this farm has been in my husband's name for years and years. It's been paid off for years. It's been paid off probably 30 years. The only thing we have to worry about is property taxes. So
yeah, well, I know yours is financial, Don. Now, believe me, I'm not dogging you in any way, shape, or form. I just clump the mortgage stuff as financial because the financial is politics is all driven by politics.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong on that. But I mean, and I see where you're talking about. There's a lot of people that are not opening up, and they're going to be shocked.
Yeah, definitely. And this is why I live in the country, away from everybody, and
that's why I say my cardboard boxes, and I got duct tape, because when people start going homeless, I'll be charging them $5 for a big old giant refrigerator box that they can live in,
Yeah.
because that's the only income I'm going to be able to make according to the government.
Mm-hmm. Chef BC, yeah, only taxes. We have a spring on my property, so we get water for free. So yeah, I mean, we're pretty good. I don't get me wrong, it's not all roses and sunshine here either, but
Yeah. You get your daily issues.
yes,
Is how I put it.
just like anybody else. The structures here have been here for the house that's on this property was built in 1900. It needs tore down. And the trailer that we live in was from the 50s, but it's all paid off.
Yeah.
So I have no complaints on that.
Yeah. As long as the financial thing doesn't change, but until after 1 June, I'm good, because 1 June, I am debt free on everything. I got one more payment on 2 bills, and I am completely debt free.
That's
I just got to
awesome.
worry about I've been throwing everything into it as much as I could. My kids are like, you're crazy. What if you need this? What do you? I do without.
Yeah.
I want to be at 0. I could care less about my credit rating at that point, because it's not. They're not even using that, the old credit rating anymore. They're using the new one, and I'm like,
Yeah. And
well,
credit's not going to matter here soon anyway.
yeah. So.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. They'll initiate it, but it'll probably take a good 30 to 60 days before it actually, because there's going to be people throwing lawsuits and all that other stuff for what's going on against the rights and all that. They always do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how they're trying to push the illegal menthol thing. The ACU's already got lawsuits in that they're not going to be able to do it because it's racist.
For what? For what is that for?
The White House and the FDA have gone with Biden and his mashed potato administration about banning menthol tobacco and vapes. Yeah. They say it's very harmful. But if you actually look at it, what is the actual racial I don't know, the racial group that actually smokes menthol more than anything else?
Yeah.
The ones that they're always saying, hey, we're here for you.
Yeah.
So taking that away, yeah.
It's a weird to me. Like, I had never heard of that one before, but it's weird to me the things that they're coming up with. Like, it blows my mind.
Yeah. And some places just stop doing it already. On the internet, you can't find menthol tobacco in some places. Other places still have it because of the backstop. And they're going to sell it because the cop's not going to, I smell menthol. I got to throw you down, tase you, and cuff you because you're smoking a menthol cigarette.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I guess we'll all be growing tobacco.
Yeah, but you know what? Those med beds, nah. They won't be able to afford them because it's going to take out all the doctors then, because you won't need doctors. And then how are they going to solve their pandemics that they want to have? They got to have doctors for their pandemics.
Yep.
If you read their science, you can't freaking fix the pandemic without doctors.
Right.
Yeah, but I believe they're going to try to outlaw cigarettes, but that's going to be a fight.
They're going to try to outlaw a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but it's going to be like freaking alcohol.
Yeah.
They will not win the tobacco fight because they couldn't win the alcohol fight.
Right.
And they can't monitor what you do inside your own home. So if you want to smoke tobacco in your own home, you can smoke tobacco in your own home.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, what are they going to do? Well, we're watching you on your phone. We saw you smoke a cigarette. Invasion of privacy right there. Behind my closed doors, I can do what I want. It's not breaking, it's not invading somebody else's civil rights if I'm smoking in my own house and nobody else lives here. So
I just hope that through all of this, the people finally will stand up and come together. And I mean, there's got to be a breaking point.
yeah. But oh well.
I just wish our, vets weren't all aging and getting older, and because the old vets are the ones that we need.
Well. Yeah. But
My second oldest brother wants to build a compound on our family land in Louisiana, stock and arm it, and we all reside there because he stated the world is about to have the huge shift. Yep.
yeah.
And that's the thing about American culture. I wish American culture was more like family oriented and stuff. And I understand that the government pushed us to be not so family oriented. But if you look at other cultures, like the Hispanic cultures and stuff like that, there's a lot to learn from them. They really pull it together with their families. They have, 5-10 people living in one residence, and they all save that money. They're very smart when it comes to that. I'm like, why can't American people be more like that,
Because it's the me generations. They've allowed that too much because of the schools.
Yeah.
Hispanic kid goes home learning that in the school system and says that grandma who's living there freaking hits that kid in the back of the head with a chancla.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, oh, no more. The school's wrong. Grandma's right. But you don't get that out of the other cultures. So
No, you don't.
But it's like, but they talk about the stuff also. I mean, they talk about the, what do you call it? The fertility of the men has gone down in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Well, think about it. What have they pushed?
I always wonder about that too. Like, how in China they're only allowed to have so many children.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're going to try to pass something like that in the United States too.
Yeah. Yep. But until people open their eyes and really see how the parties are, I mean, not one party's completely guilty, but one party is more corrupt than the other, even though they're both corrupt.
Yeah.
I mean, since they don't work for the people anymore. I mean,
Yeah. That's another thing, trust in God, that I don't understand. Our forefathers, the ones that wrote the Constitution and stuff, they were so smart putting things into the Constitution that they foreseen coming, but they never put anything in there for like Congress, for what's the word? I can't think. For like Congress not being in there for so long.
Yep, to regulate them.
Yes.
Well, and that's where I think the Supreme Court has failed in the Powers Check Act. Because the Supreme Court could freaking do a lot to control Congress, and they don't do nothing. They just
term limits. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
I can't believe that our forefathers never put anything in there for term limits.
Yeah. Because you think about it, if the Supreme Court said no, it's illegal, you can't have so and so, being in Congress for 30 years. I was like, well, it's not them that do the freaking laws. It's like, yeah, but you can get the president to do an executive order and force them to make a law in the House and the Congress. I mean, look, they're making executive orders now. They're just mandates for federal employees, but everybody's acting like it's the law. I could care less about any of those executive orders unless it affects something that I can't get through the supply chain that affects me. But almost everything is like $15 a freaking hour is just for federal employees. That doesn't affect McDonald's, but McDonald's sees it coming, so they're going to put in machines and get rid of the people. So they don't have to pay that. They're jumping ahead of the game. People don't realize that. But the guy flipping burgers at McDonald's like, ooh, I'm going to start getting paid $15 an hour. Nope, that's only federal employees because they don't understand how the government actually works. So
yeah. Chef BC says, I'm independent. My family is split between 3 parties. Yeah, and that's how most families are now. It's really, really hard to talk to your family about stuff like that. They don't want to see it. They don't want to open their eyes.
Yeah. I don't know. The only thing I say, I'm not pro big government. I'm pro give the power back to the states.
Mm-hmm.
If you live in a certain state and you want to have something in the state, let the people that are born in that state vote on it. Everybody else, you stay out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
so,
federal government's not supposed to have much power as they freaking push. It's supposed to be with the states. The states have the power. The freaking federal government doesn't.
yeah, so it says they can't limit people if they let everyone into. I know that, but there has to be a solution. They shouldn't be in there 50, 60 years either.
Yeah. You know how to fix that? Make the states pay for them. They get their salary from the states, not the federal government paying it.
Yeah.
When the states pay it, the people get tired of it. They'll get rid of them.
All right, Dawn. Thanks for coming in. Have a good night.
Good night, Dawn. You need to relax a little bit. Stop working 90 hours a week.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Believe me, I learned that quick in the military.
You're welcome. If you want more keto information, check out my YouTube. It's all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm almost to the baby level of keto.
The baby level. Mm-hmm. Well, I have the keto challenge every month.
Yeah.
That'll help you if you want to participate.
And why do you think I'm trying to work on a keto biscotti recipe? I'm telling you.
Oh, that's awesome. Chef BC says my daughter has lost 72 pounds so far on keto. That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of weight.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I still can't get over how much weight I lost. It's like mind blowing. I cannot fathom that I actually did that.
Mm-hmm.
I lost 140. That's like a whole nother person.
I'd be happy if I lost 30.
Yeah.
Get me down to 200 and I'll be good.
Well, my husband, when he had that tumor removed last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago now. He had that tumor removed. He went straight keto again, which I'm really happy about. He did keto when I started 8 years ago. He did it for 6 months and he lost 40 some pounds. And then he just got back into that routine. He wanted his Snickers and his ice cream, and he totally went off of it. Gained all the weight he lost plus some. Mm-hmm. So I'm really happy that he's went back straight keto, and he's lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks now. So it's not bad. It's doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It's a slow process, but
it is. And that's the one thing, about Americans. We all want instant gratification. We want it now. But if you think of it, we spent all these years putting this bad food into our mouths, and it took years to gain this weight. It's going to take time to take it off and get healthy.
Mm-hmm. I'll be happy if after 30 days, I lost 5 pounds. I'm like, woo, party time.
Yeah. Have you ever actually looked up what 5 pounds of fat looks like?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Like, if people could see pictures of 5 pounds of fat all the time, they would be really excited that they lost that, because that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I knew I needed to do something when I couldn't put on my socks the normal way anymore. And that was the hardest part. I could not bend over. I already have back and neck issues. And then trying to freaking put on a sock, I was like, it's my stomach. I got to do something. So
I don't think keto tastes better. I think you adjust to bad taste and can't tell anymore, even if it's better for you. I guess that's on personal opinion. There's so many keto recipes and things out there that you can eat. I mean, I think I eat like a queen. I love the taste of my keto food.
Yeah. Yeah, when I finally got to your channel and saw so many recipes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what got me to thinking about trying keto. Because
Yeah.
before it's like, oh, I can have it on this or this, just a very select little few things. I can't live off that.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well just eat a salad every day for all 3 meals. That's how I was thinking. And then when I saw the recipe, I'm like, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
I could live like a king without
Yeah.
starving.
And I think that's like the big misconception too, and that's why I don't like calling keto a diet. Keto is not a diet, at least not for me. It's a lifestyle, and I'll never go back to eating any other way. And I honestly think keto is just the way God intended us to eat. All it is non-processed foods and non-sugar and starch and carbs. That's all man-made stuff. And I think once you switch your mind over to thinking of all the things you can eat instead of all the things you can't, it's a game changer.
Yep. Yep. And I noticed that too, because when I eat fish that I catch, before it was just I had to add so many flavors and stuff to it. Now I just cook it and I can eat it. Every once in a while, I'll put a little ranch or tartar sauce or something, but I can just eat it straight out of the oven with hardly any spices or anything on it now, and it actually tastes good. Before it was like, gonna add salt, pepper, all this other stuff.
Yeah, and your taste buds completely changed. Like, I was so shocked at all the things that I can eat now that I didn't like before. Hey, Wickshire Project, thanks for coming in. For instance, seafood. Oh, before I was keto, I could not stand seafood, shrimp, crab, fish, anything. Did not like it. And then when I was keto for a long time, I started craving like salmon and shrimp. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I didn't even like the smell of it. Walking into somebody's house that was cooking any type of water food is what I called it. I'm like, oh, it's horrible. And now it's like, I crave it. I've got to eat some type of fish at least once a week.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Well, don't give up, Chef.
Yeah.
You can do it. Believe me. If I can do it, and I am very stubborn, believe me. The hardest part was convincing and taking that first step, and then after that, so.
Chef BC says, I cook for other dietary needs and neglect my own. Do not neglect yourself. You are important. Put yourself first for once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made Prepper Tribe went keto. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know he went keto. I haven't watched him in about 2 weeks, so.
He went keto, and I had jumped on his live. I think it was like last week or something. They were talking about keto. So I jumped on the live, and he was like, I seen a recipe for French toast on your channel. And he was like, I was so excited. I was like, yep. I was like, you need to make it. It's good.
Yep.
And most of my recipes, I try to make them like super simple. I can't stand for a long time in the kitchen because of my back issues. So the quicker the recipe, the better for me. But not only that, it makes it so much easier for you and everybody else that is watching. Nobody wants to sit there and cook for 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So the French toast was a pretty awesome recipe. Throw it all in a baking dish and throw it in the oven and wait for it to cook. You're done. You can eat fresh natural foods that's nutrient dense, full of vitamin and minerals. Anything fresh picked starts to lose essentials. Now imagine man-made processed food. It's dead. You are 100% right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll be praying for you, Chef, that your procedure goes well. And anything you do to get healthier is the best part.
Oh, yeah. Prayers to you. Yep. And that's, people like you and trusting God and myself. That's the whole reason I started a YouTube channel, to just help educate and help overcome whatever you need to overcome.
Yeah. Once a week I try to go what tans my hide. If you don't mind me telling you what tans my hide on yours, Jess. That Olive Garden doesn't have a salad club. Because I could go to Olive Garden every day and just eat all you can eat salad.
Yeah.
There's somehow, I don't know if it's just because they make it and I'm not having to do it or whatever, but their salad tastes better than the one I make at home. I'm like, I can go there every day and eat salad for lunch and I'd be good for the rest of the day. But I mean, that tans up my hide.
Yeah, their salad is amazing. I agree.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
Stars Prepper, thanks for coming in. Yeah, I don't know why that is. I was talking about that the other day in a live, how it seems like when somebody else makes your food, it tastes 10 times better.
mm-hmm.
And you can make the same thing, but it doesn't taste the same
Yeah.
as the other person made it. I'm like, why is that?
Mm-hmm. But me, it's salad. I mean, the simplest thing you can freaking make.
Right.
Next to cereal. And they pour it in a bowl, add milk, and
Yeah. My rule of thumb, like Shire Project, is if it has more than 5 ingredients, it's probably not healthy.
I don't know. I remember going to school as a youngin', and they give you that plastic bowl, and you have to rip it open and then pour the milk. They have cereal in the morning. That was the best thing growing up. I'd make it at home, and it's still, even then, it wouldn't taste the same as the one at school, even though
Yeah.
I'm like,
You know what I survived on mostly as a child?
huh,
It was rice with sugar and butter and milk.
really?
That's what I ate a lot when I was a child.
Wow.
And now that I'm keto and I've looked up, the carbs and rice and things like that, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
And you'd think with something, with that many carbs in it, you would stay full longer. But rice, it's like you eat it and 10 minutes later, you're starving again.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah. I don't know. I want to know how the Japanese do it because they eat a mess load of rice.
Well, I researched that too, because I was curious why they can eat so much rice and not gain any weight, and they actually are healthier. They're really healthier than the United States, and it's because our grains and our rices and our beans and things like that have all been genetically modified.
Mm-hmm.
If we could get rice from another country or beans from another country, we could eat them and it would be keto.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was blown away by that when I researched it. And I'm like, wow. So their rice and beans and things like that are completely different than ours.
Yeah.
And that's why they can get away with eating it.
Yeah. So I'm still trying being stationed in South Korea and seeing how their farmers did their food in their fields and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, I mean, that's the blockage thing because they use the benjo ditches. That's their sewer system. And it's basically all the human waste goes through on the sides of the road. They feed into the fields.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's human fertilizer that they're using in their fields. I'm like, still can't get past that. I'm like, I mean, I know we use animal and all that other stuff too, but still, I mean, it's just.
Well, I mean, if you look back in history, in the 30s and 40s and 50s, we did the same thing.
Yeah.
We fertilized our fields with human waste.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's probably one thing if it was mine and I'm doing it in my crops.
Yeah.
But having like a million people from the city and you don't know what they got. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's just, I can't get past that part.
Yeah. It's pretty gross, but I guess it is what it is.
Oh, believe me. You burn everything that when you stepped in those benjo ditches because I had to freaking chase people and go through the benjo ditches and all my uniforms would get burned. And I'd be scrubbing for like an hour in the bathtub. I'd scrub my skin raw because like,
I bet. Mine wasn't as bad as that, but I worked in the nursing home, like I said, for 20 years, and you'd get things on you, and I'd be the same way. I'd strip outside before I come in my house and go straight to the shower and just scrub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My last wife, when I do that from work, she swore that I was having an affair because I'd go straight, I'd be half naked from the front door, and I'd go straight to go take a shower, and I'd be in there for so long.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Trying to get rid of the evidence? I was like, you want to smell what I put in this garbage bag? And you'd have the evidence there, and she's still, no, you're cheating. I was like, no, I don't have time to cheat.
No.
Working on. That's all I'm doing. So I thought that was funny. Like I said, I try to find positive out of the negative, but still, it's like,
Yeah. Chef BC says the most terrible thing is I teach clients how to shop on the outside aisle for non-processed foods and give private cooking demos. I got to take care of me now. Yeah. And I'm sure once you start taking care of yourself, your clients are going to see that and bring you more business too.
Yeah. 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 When I started tasting the keto and trying all that, I'm still playing around with it because I got an Instagram, but I have nothing posted on Instagram. Thinking about taking some of my lovely fat pictures, with no shirt on, I put on there and just announce that I'm doing it. I'm going to do a daily, thing with the weight and all that just to track it. I guess that would keep me more in par, even though, I'm trying to get over right now the embarrassment part of it. That's why I'm more on YouTube. It's easier to talk on YouTube, but not doing it without a shirt, showing everybody how fat I am and all that.
Yeah, but if you stick to it, which you can, when you stick to it and you start losing that weight and getting down to the size you're going to look back on those pictures and be very happy and confident. And
yeah,
that's a lot of work, and it's a huge compliment.
Yeah.
Hey, Gemma, thanks for coming in.
Good morning, Gemma.
So yeah, and I do the same thing. I'll go back to those pictures and the pictures I have of me before I lost my weight, and I'm like, wow, I can't even believe that was me. I didn't even have eyes. My cheeks were so big, my eyes were covered up. And
So now I know how it is when people feel subconscious sometimes in the mirror and all that. I'm like,
yeah.
So I don't dish nobody for being subconscious. Just tell them, hey, they'll get better.
Yeah.
Eventually it will. It's just, I battle through that too.
Yep. You got to work at it, and you can do it as long as you stay dedicated. I think it helps, like what really helped me is other people that went through the keto journey, and I think the Instagram thing is a great idea because that's really what inspired me. Every day I would go and look at these people that had lost all their weight, and I'd think, one of these days that's going to be me.
Yeah. Now, I did have a question for you because I think you had one for a keto pizza.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, we have a place here. I can't think of the name of it right now that just sells uncooked pizzas. They prepare them there. And they actually have a keto one where the dough's all keto and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything to be aware that they have on that because they make them versus if you made it at home? Or,
they really, it depends like who the company is. I know when they first came out with quick fire Crinos, cauliflower pizza, I was super, super excited. I personally, there's several different ketos. I personally do very, very strict keto, and I don't cheat or anything. And when I went to Quick Fire to get that pizza, I was super excited. I scarfed down like 2 or 3 pieces, and within an hour, I was so sick. And I was like, what is in this pizza? So I ended up calling in and getting an ingredient list from them, and they had all kinds of stuff in there. They still had wheat germ in there, and I hadn't had wheat germ in years. So they still had ingredients in there that weren't keto, and it tore me up.
Okay.
So, I mean, you really got to do your research and see. I do like my little pizzas. I do little like heart-shaped pizzas in the waffle maker.
Mm-hmm.
And those ones, you could eat 2 of those and be full. Like my husband will eat 2, maybe 3 at the most, and he's completely full. But I just use the almond flour, eggs, and your basic keto almond flour recipe. I'll cook that in the waffle maker and then put my homemade pizza sauce on there and cheese and pepperoni, and I'm good to go. That will, suffice any pizza need I need to have, pizza craving or whatever. Now, my husband, he does a fathead dough pizza. And it's an actual big pizza that he does, and that turns out really good. But I can't stand there to make it. It takes a long time to make because you got to mix in mozzarella cheese and melt it in the microwave and mix it and melt it. And there's quite a bit of steps to that recipe, but it is good.
Yeah. I was wondering, it's like, before I try it, I'll ask Jess. I mean, she's, like I said, I don't want to go try it. I get sick. I'm going to blame it on the keto.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some people that think, oh, this is all keto. And like your experience, they got sick and they blame it on the keto. I'm never having it again. And it really wasn't the keto. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
Check the ingredients and all that in there. So
I'm good, Gemma. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it just depends. Like if you're strict keto like I am, then I personally wouldn't do it. But there's other people that do dirty keto and they still lose weight. You just got to really be careful because all these companies are out there and keto is so popular right now. They're just going to throw keto on whatever and call it keto, and really it's not.
No. And that's how I felt about the chia seed. Not to try to change it, but I heard so much good stuff about chia, and I've gone to the grocery store, and there's so many different brands. And I'm looking at it, and some of the ingredients, when you look at it, are all different. I'm like, So I haven't even done the chia yet, and I'm like, So.
I do Walmart brand chia seeds. It's like $8. I don't even know. Let's see. Yeah, see, the ingredient on this one is organic chia seed. That's it. That's the only thing in here.
Oh, okay.
That's $8 and it's at Walmart.
Oh, that's nice. It's a container because all the other ones, the ones I see are always bags.
Yeah.
I really don't like the self-steel bags. They never work.
Yeah.
So
that's the one I buy. And then with chia seeds, you need to remember too is, I don't know if you have one of those little magic bullets or
no,
something like that, or a good blender or anything like that. You need to blend those chia seeds up before you do anything with them, before you consume them.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people in the past I don't understand it, but they say, I just always tell people that to make them aware of it. But those chia seeds are really gelatinous.
Yeah.
And I guess people have had them stuck in their throat.
Yeah.
So I just tell everybody for pre-warning to chop them up somehow, any way you can.
Yeah. It's sort of like a kid when you swallowed a watermelon seed. You thought a watermelon plant was going to grow in your body because it got stuck.
Yeah.
That's the same type of fear. Just break them up. Woodstock on Canada. Okay.
Shutting down my IQ. It's too early to think without coffee.
Yep. I'm going to need a refill here in a minute because, like.
Hey, Christopher. Thanks for coming in. There's so much I'm learning on keto. Good job, Gemma.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in. There's a lot to learn.
Watching it and trying to read about it and all that, it feels like I'm in college again. I mean, like, wow.
Stars Prepper.
And don't get me wrong, I graduated in 2018. You know, I did my college after my career, so
Wow.
I still get ragged by my kids. You did it backwards. You're supposed to go to college first.
That's a pretty big accomplishment, though, going to college after all those years. That's hard to do.
Yeah, it was, but I'm glad I did it because we had a liberal teacher, and I butted heads with her the whole time. So when you hear that they're trying to indoctrinate your kids in colleges, it's true.
Yep.
We have 4 colleges here, and I've gone to 3 of them, and only one had teachers trying to indoctrinate. And I'm like, no. I was like, yeah, you read off a book. You live here in your little happy home. You've never traveled the world. I've been around everywhere. I've dealt with businesses and all this. Don't be telling them that when that's not true. And, you know, there's other vets in there too, thank goodness, that back me up. And we basically told these young kids how it was. I mean, basically, we were teaching the class. And it used to tick her off, but it's like, hey.
Well, they need to hear the truth, not some
Yeah,
crap out of it. Yeah.
You know, and the whole thing was we'd be talking about like business analytics, had nothing to do with politics, but she talked politics for 45 minutes.
Jeez.
I mean, like, that's like, no. And we used to get on, I was like, hey, our tax money is going for this class. This is what we're paying for.
Yeah.
I mean, she knew if we took it to the dean, she'd probably get fired. So she finally changed her ways of thinking. It took half the semester, but.
Jeez. Hey, Jandara, thanks for coming in. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments trying to catch up.
Oh, me too. That's a habit I've tried to keep even when I'm other people's streams.
Yeah.
Because I catch myself every once in a while. And we've had people in my chat are like, oh, somebody's finally reading. I was like, they don't understand. You got 6, 7 people. I mean, up here, it's harder to keep up with chat when you're trying to, you know.
Yeah.
Not say keep the peace, but keep it at a norm with everybody else talking and what they're doing. And so.
Right.
So like I tell everybody else, you can say what you want in chat, just be nice. And if you're not a creator, don't criticize as much. Until you come up here and do it and see what we're talking about, then you know what we're talking about.
Stars Prepper says that there's frost out there. There's no frost at my house, thank goodness.
You know, we don't need no more frost. We got stuff in Canada. I mean, that's what I like about Prepper Tribe. He's so lucky to have Nisi, because she'll run the chat, you know, while he's doing the stream, and you know he makes it look easy.
I know.
But I know Nisi's doing a lot in that chat. And I'm like,
yeah, it's hard when you don't have 2 people running it. I try to talk my husband into being a monetizer and being in the chat for me. He's like, I don't know how to do any of that. I'm not doing that. I was like, I'll teach you. He's like, no, it's not my thing. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Basically, is saying you ain't paying me $15 an hour.
And somebody told me the other day on one of my lives, and they said, Jess, you need to have an assistant. And I was like, yeah, okay. I would love to have an assistant, but I don't have the money to be paying for an assistant. You're welcome, Gemma. You're amazing and beautiful too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would make life easier if we all had assistants, huh?
I had to laugh because I watched this movie the other day. I woke up from the middle of sleep and the TV was on and this movie was on there, and I sat there, and I know I watched it before I knew what it was.
Yeah.
I'm purposely not saying the title yet, but as soon as you say assistant, that's the first thing that came on my mind. The Devil Wears Prada.
It's a good movie.
I think anybody that's ever seen that movie and then hears assistant, I'm like, I saw what they went through.
Yeah. That was, she went through that movie.
Yeah. I know it's just an entertainment thing, but that actually really does happen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people need to realize that. Like, they'll teach you like poop. And they don't pay that well either. I mean,
no.
My nephew learned that. He got his degree and went to New York thinking he was going to be a big old writer for the MSM and all that. And I warned him. I told his mom, like, he should just stay in the town where you're at, get a job there, get some experience, and then go there with experience. He went over there. He was living in a rat trap with like 3 other people. It was a 1-bedroom apartment. They barely afford it. I mean, and all he was doing is he was spell checking for the obituaries.
Wow.
After having a 4-year degree from Stanford.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I told him, like, you see, your 4-year degree, for one, you overpaid by going to Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only way I would go to Harvard, for one, is if they paid the full ride for me and I didn't have to pay nothing.
Yeah.
And 2, they let me freaking argue the professors. Because I know there's a lot of liberals there that I'd be arguing with them left and right.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only way I'd go to Harvard. I don't respect Harvard.
Yeah, I think most of those big schools like that, you're paying for the name.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because they ain't teaching you. You can learn just the same amount of stuff on the community college.
Yeah.
As you really look at it, they got to meet the same criteria as a university, the colleges do. And I'm like, hello.
Yeah, in high school and stuff, I never really looked at like community colleges. What I was looking at, I wasn't trying to have all these bills trying to go to college.
Mm-hmm. And all the people are like, well, I didn't go to college and I became super rich. Yeah, but they don't tell you the part that they went to community college for a little while, took some classes, dropped out, started the business, got lucky, and made millions.
Yeah.
You know?
It's really hard to start a business, especially a small business, and then become, successful at it.
Yeah. Especially if you want a loan or something, they're going to want to see some kind of education, even if it's just a couple of classes. It doesn't have to be a full degree, but you got to know what you're talking about, what you're going into. So,
yeah,
that's the thing. A lot of people get the misconception on. They don't tell them. I was like, hey, if you're going to go into business, at least learn how to do a business plan.
Right.
Because you're going to need to do that, do it right to get a loan from the bank.
That's funny because I went to last 2 years of high school. I went to vocational school, and they gave you like 3 courses to choose from what you wanted to do. And there was the very last choice. I had no idea what it was. I just put it down because I couldn't find something else that I wanted. So I just jotted it down. And that was the one I got picked to go to. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And it was fashion merchandising. And I hated every minute of it. But it was so easy. It was like a flyby course. They talked about Versace and Gucci and all these name brand clothes and things like that. But they were easy A's and B's. Like most of my classes I got A's in. And then like the end of the first year, they had this thing called DECA. And it was for Leaderships of America, the Youth of America or something like that. And I had to put together a business plan. I had to pick out a business that I wanted to do. And back then it was like a baby clothing store or whatever. And I put the business plan together. And it was like a 495 document of all the we actually had to do the footwork of going to banks and getting, fake loans and all that stuff. And I ended up making it to, I went to state, nationals, and then regionals. The first state, I won first place. National, or National, I won second, and then regional, I didn't place at all. But because of that experience, I learned a lot about business, you know. But back then, I'm like, this is just dumb. Like, I'm never going to use this fashion stuff in real life. And then doing that business plan, I actually learned a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I did DECA in high school.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that was awesome. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really liked it too.
Everybody picked on me because I had to wear a suit. I was on the football team, and of course on DECA you had to wear a suit and be all professional and all that. And I was like, eventually I said, "Screw you guys!" I quit football and stayed in DECA.
Did you ever get to go to the conferences and competition and stuff?
Yeah, the state level I did. That's the only one I was able to do. So
Did
I
you
really enjoyed that.
Did you get to like exchange your little pins with everybody?
Yep.
You remember that? I thought that was so awesome.
Yeah. So, matter of fact, that's besides the only, you know how they do the yearbook. You get the picture, everybody's one picture.
Yeah.
I was there, and then they had me in football, and then they had me in DECA. And the DECA one like took a whole page, and I was like 4 different pictures on that one page. Football was just one with the whole group. You could barely tell who was who.
Yeah.
I'm like, you see, I made the right choice. I got more pictures on one page for doing this versus doing that.
Yeah. I think, DECA was the only good thing out of that vocational school.
Yeah.
You know, we took our senior trip. Well, I guess our junior trip, we got to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, which was awesome. Because back then I was totally into Janis Joplin and the Beatles and stuff, and all that was there. So I really enjoyed that. And then our senior trip was for, we went to Chicago, and we had to sit there and watch runway models model all these clothes. And that was totally not my thing. I was bored. I was like, this is horrible. I'm like, let's go over to the Harley Davidson shop and, go all here. And all these girls, they're all into the fashion. They're like, we're not going to the Harley Davidson shop. And I'm like, come on. I'm like, we got to do something fun. This ain't fun.
Yeah.
So I was different back then too.
Now is it Chicago where they're building the Obama Museum?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they're building that multi-million. I don't know if it's Detroit or Chicago because I don't remember where he's from, but they're building it. Just imagine in 10 years, field trips are going to be for these kids going to that museum. That's a nightmare to me. I cannot fathom.
Yeah.
I would shoot the principal myself if he scheduled something to go to a museum like that. I'm sorry. Because, I mean, yeah, we got the Bush Museum in Dallas, but you don't see me running over there every weekend and check it out.
Yeah.
I've never visited. I have no interest. Now, I do want to visit the Reagan Museum.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I mean, he's had a lot, he had a life.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Trying to read what Wickshire is putting.
I know he was just full of information this morning.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Gemma.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm back then, Gemma, when you're a teenager and you're in high school, you're not very confident or secure in yourself. But now, yeah, I could care less what people think of me. I'm confident in who I am and who I've became, and proud to be different as well.
Yeah.
Back then, when you're in high school, you just want to fit in and be cool like everybody else,
Yeah. And ain't it funny now that you can care less how everybody else thinks?
Yeah.
You could pick the person, like 20 seconds after meeting somebody new, you could tell by their personality if they're worried about, oh, is my lipstick on right? Or, am I wearing the right jeans? I'm like, really?
I'm always messing up my videos and my lives. I can't ever say the right things, or I'm always tongue twisted. I'm like, oh, well.
I just see it as at least I don't have to make a second video where it's all the mistakes, like you know how the movies do the thing after the movie. I don't remember what you call them.
Yeah, the
outtakes or whatever.
bloopers.
Yeah, the bloopers. At least I don't have to make a blooper video later on. It's all in one. Okay,
Yeah.
you get it. So.
And that's the thing. Like, I would rather watch. I don't know for anybody else, but I would rather watch channels that are real, that aren't faking it or deleting all this stuff. And I just came to the decision, like if I'm gonna do a YouTube channel, I'm just gonna be me. It's gonna be me. I'm gonna be real. It's just who I am.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to watch out of, everybody else's channels too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've watched all the people say the 10 don'ts to do on YouTube or the 15 don'ts.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm doing that one. Yeah, I'm doing that one. And they all say, don't do lives all the time because you really won't get the money. So I'm not in it for the money. I know some people are to help because they want to get bigger. It's a business. I understand that. Mine, I just want to bring people together. Hopefully they smile or laugh for the day, feel good, and then they go off to go what they're doing, because that's basically what YouTube is. You come for a little while, and then you go back to your life, however happy or mundane it is. So, I mean...
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, people will say all the time, "Oh, I'm not on YouTube to make money," or da 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 da. Well, initially, I wasn't on YouTube to make money either. I was here to, educate people on keto and homesteading and share my life experiences. And then when I found out you can make money, you bet your bottom dollar, I was like, heck yeah! If I can make some money, that'll help our family out. We're on like a what is it called, a set income or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, if I can make a $20 here or there, that's a gas tank for me. I can get gas with that.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I never said I'd never have merchandise.
Yeah.
I just don't want YouTube to monetize because they put more stricter. I mean, I saw the whole thing from the get-go.
Yeah.
What they're doing. And yeah, the more power to the ones that you can forget the money.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to deal with the IRS after having to deal with being regulated by YouTube. That's too much of a problem. So I was like, but they never said you can't do merchandise and not be monetized. So I might go that way.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I want to be monetized. I want to be monetized. I really do, because it'll open up other opportunities for me. And what I really want to do is help people be educated on keto. And I have a really soft spot for older people. I know health-wise, the doctors and things like that, they don't help them. They just want to push pills on them. So eventually, I would like to set up a program behind the scenes where for people, 18 to, I don't know, I still have to work on it, 18 to 50, have a set price to help them. They could pay me to help them, coach them on keto. And then for people that are 50 and older, do it by donation only.
Yeah.
And I think that would really benefit all of us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But we'll see. That's a lot to think about and a lot to put together on my end.
Yep. Baby steps every day.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep walking forward, taking that step forward. That's all you can do.
Gemma says, I'm very real and I share my life experiences. And that's why I love you, Gemma. And that's why I like watching you. Wickshire Project says, Jess, I have to delete and edit or everyone will find out that I'm batshit crazy, right?
Hey, if they can handle me, Wickshire, they can handle you, believe me.
That's what I said, like, in the beginning of YouTube. I wanted everything to be perfect. And, I didn't want people to think how crazy I was. And then the more I recorded and the more I put videos out, I'm like, this ain't cool. Like, I'm just going to let people know who I am for real and just do me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, trust in God too. You were saying a minute ago about being monetized. You got to watch what you say and everything. My channel, so everybody knows, my channel is about keto and homesteading, and those are the things that I'm passionate about. Although I am very passionate about other things like the government and prepping, even though I don't talk about that on my channel or in my live chats doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. And that's why I go to everybody else's channel to enjoy it. I don't want to get dinged or whatever you want to call it because I am trying to get monetized. But that doesn't mean I don't associate with other people that enjoy those things too.
Yeah. But the bad thing is too, being monetized, they watch the chat.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be the one. That's the biggest thing. You don't even have to be the one to mention it. They put it in the chat and they can ding you and freaking demonetize that video, which I think is BS.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, because it's like, I mean, they should at least give you see it, you warn them, tell them, hey, we're not talking about that here. I can get punished or whatever. They don't even give that opportunity to freaking tell that to chat. They just take the stream down, so you broke the freaking rules, which I think is BS.
Yeah, it is. Good morning, Gardner in the north. Thanks for coming in.
You know.
I've been up since 2 a.m. I couldn't sleep.
Woo! She's a party girl. Up all night, sleep all day. Oh wait, no, there's no music. You can't get copyrighted. You're good. Well, I don't know if you were there or not. I did a karaoke one night.
Oh nope, I missed that one. Oh, I would have loved that one.
We did karaoke, and I had 6 people, and we were doing it, and I got struck on it. They tried saying I was copyrighting. It's like, no, the music. It was music, but it wasn't from the original people. We had the words up there, and everybody was singing. And they tried getting me for a copyright. I had to fight that one. That was my first fight, and they took it off.
So you didn't win it?
Huh?
Did you win it?
Yeah, I won it.
Oh, good.
But they're like, karaoke, come on.
Is that one still up then?
No.
Oh.
Unfortunately, somebody else said some stuff because you see, we're doing the singing, and then bam, the channel went down. And I came back up on there, and then somebody started saying stuff, and it just took the whole thing. Because I tried combining and cutting his stuff out, it didn't cut out, and so I ended up having to delete the whole thing. Wow. But I was a Dangerous Freedom. I want to say it was Backwoods. I can't remember. There's like, I don't know if Arkansas was there or not. But I mean, we're just singing songs, just passing the day. It's like, okay, we can't play music in here. We'll just do our own.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. If you get a chance, you should do another karaoke because I would be there. Yeah. I love music. I love singing. I don't sing in front of people, but I love watching other people sing.
Yeah, and that's what I do. We get all our bars here are so small.
Yeah.
Maybe you fit like 200 people in there, our biggest one. But all of them do karaoke.
Yeah.
And I'll go in there, I'll grab a beer, and I'm not a big beer drinker, so I'll grab a beer and sit there for like 4 hours and listen to people sing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and my beer is still full when I leave. I'm like, well, you know.
I used to back when I was younger. I'd go to the bars and sing karaoke and stuff like that, but it's just not my scene anymore. And I don't know. When you're younger, you don't care. You know, you get up and sing in front of people. Now I'm just like, oh, there's no way I'm singing in front of anybody.
Yeah. Well, the only time I got up there and sang was when we were deployed. We'd go to like Florida, and we'd go to the bars there, and BS guys would sing or something, or just fellows. But now I just go over there just to see everybody else do it, and it's enjoying. I'm getting out and being around the public. I mean, you don't have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the bouncers, if they saw you walking in their bars with a mask, they'd freaking grab you and throw you out of the parking lot. It's like, we don't take your kind here.
Yeah, I'm such a rebel. I don't believe in the masks personally. I know everybody has their own opinion, but I can't breathe in them. It flares up my anxiety. I can't breathe, and I start getting migraine headaches from wearing the mask. So I always have my mask under my nose. Yeah. My husband's like, pull your mask up, and I'm like, no, leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's bad enough I wear a mask when I cut my yard. And I have a yard that could probably cut the front and the back in 30 minutes, but it takes me 2 hours because I have to wear a mask because my allergies are so bad, but I can't breathe in it. So I'm like doing a quarter of the front yard, then I take a break, so I take the mask off, and then I do another part, another. So, I mean, so it takes me all day.
Yeah.
But I'm tired. What I'm going to do? I got all day to freaking cut the yard. Why rush it? I mean,
Yeah.
But, and people before this mask mandate thing ever came on, people used to look at me because I'd wear the mask all cut in the yard. Like I was weird or something. It's like, you have my allergies? You don't understand. And now that they all have to wear masks, I'm like, yeah.
You're like, now I fit in. Ha ha.
The karma.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I hate the freaking mask. I mean, I work around wood. I wear one because I don't want those, the dust particles going in my nose and all that. It's bad enough just getting everywhere else and then having to wash it off in the shower. But
yeah.
Oh, you're putting up freaking, yeah. Yeah, you're breaking down everything, yeah. Yeah, the thing you'll need to do, unless you already have a well there, you better check on the cost of freaking drilling for a well. Because that takes a pretty penny right there. Unless you don't plan to have your own water source on your property, if you have it.
Wow.
But $3,000 for a half acre is not too bad. There's places that are cheaper, and there's definitely places that are more expensive.
I always wanted to get into like flipping houses or be a landlord for not necessarily apartments, but for duplexes.
Uh-huh.
But as the saying goes, you have to have money to make money.
And now think of the positive. Look at all the people that aren't paying rent, and you're having to pay that bill while not collecting money on that rent. So that was maybe that's a good reason you didn't have the money to go into that. Because
that's true. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I feel bad for the landlords. I mean, I'm sorry. I feel bad for the people. Mm-hmm. But if they're driving a brand new car and I got a 2008 and they can't pay their freaking mortgage or their rent, should I say, they're living well beyond their means.
Yeah.
Sorry. God gave you 2 feet. Start walking. Get a bike, a skateboard, ride the bus.
Yeah. Bookshire Project says house flipping is for people who like to suffer.
Yep. It's true. But TV makes it look so wonderful. The husband and wife teams. The wife's like, "Oh, we're gonna do this, and she goes and tells the husband, "Let's get to it." Yeah, right. He's like, "I'm not again."
Yeah, I don't think I'd really want into the house flipping. I just want to be a landlord of apartments or duplexes, and that's still a lot of work too. I understand, but it's better than flipping houses all the time. I'm no construction worker by any means.
Yeah.
And I never, my goal in life was never ever to be rich, but it would be nice to be comfortable.
Yep. And you'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
I hope so.
I mean,
we have a local business here in my town. I don't know if you or anybody else has it, but it's called SCORE. And it's to help local businesses get up and running and started and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But
they're all people that donate their time for mentorship. Yeah. I contacted them the other day and see if they'll help me out. I did have a business for a while with the keto, training people or coaching them how to do keto. But I had 5 clients at one time, which was really nice. But then it just dwindled off. Like nobody was, I don't know. I don't know if I just didn't advertise it enough or my name wasn't out there enough or whatever. But as soon as those 5 people lost their weight, they were done with the program. And then nobody else was coming back or anything. So
Yeah. See, and that's the bad part. Your clientele is always going to drop off after they reach what they want, unless they're really dedicated and wanted to be a lifestyle where they just so.
Yeah.
But then you got to look at the country. How many of them are willing to commit for the rest of their lives?
Right.
The rate's like 60, 70%. They can't even commit to a marriage, let alone anything for themselves.
Right. So, that is the truth.
So, but I don't know. Being a consultant doing keto, I think would be more important than having a freaking, what are those people that do the stuff at the gyms? They call them something, but I don't go to gyms. Where you get a trainer or something.
Yeah, trainer.
Yeah, for lifting weights and all that other stuff. Right. I'm sorry. And that's the reason I'll go to the gym, because it ticks me off when I see people paying people to freaking lift weights.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to freaking lift a weight or use a machine there,
you shouldn't be there.
Yeah, you shouldn't be there.
Hey, Steve Essex. Hey, Bomber Steve and Art Wildman. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, Art Wildman. Good morning.
Yeah, people asked me too when I was losing my weight and when I was doing keto, what did you do to work out? What did you do? Like, did you go to the gym? Did you do sit-ups? And I'm like, I didn't work out. Yep. Like, I'm lazy and I don't like to sweat, and I think it's nasty to sweat. And
yeah.
The only thing I did was work. Like, I worked in the nursing homes. That was enough movement and enough exercise for me.
Yeah. See, I'm the complete opposite. I love to sweat. Problem is, I can't get up to that point to sweat because I have to watch out for my high blood pressure to try to keep it at a certain thing, and I can't get it up to where I'm sweating. Where I like to actually, because I like to feel like I lost 3 pounds, even though if I only lost 1/8 of a pound that day, it feels like I lost 3 pounds sweating and working outside. But
yeah. Farmer Steve says that they both worked really hard. They're building a house. They're struggling to walk. Finishing houses is tough work. You're right, Bomber Steve. I'm glad your house is almost done, though. I can't wait until it's finished.
Yeah. So
Joe's Outdoors just came in. Hello and welcome.
Hey, Big Joe. How big is Joe?
Ooh, he's getting ready to leave to sell some turkeys and pigs and chickens. How fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be picking up turkeys on Tuesday. Hopefully I'll have piglets to sell soon.
Well, if I can remember for Tuesday, I'll dedicate and I'll call my Tuesday live Turkey Tuesday just for you, Jess.
That'll be funny. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I tell everybody you're supposed to get turkeys, and then you come check out your baby turkeys you're getting.
Yeah.
That way, I'm doing a 2-for-1. I can pick on you a little bit, and I can advertise for you. So
that's awesome. Yeah. Make sure to get a turkey video out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the turkey sound. If you show up, be ready if you get on the panel, because I'm gonna have to have that turkey sound. Gabble, 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 gabble. I did that at Backwoods with his freaking chicken. It drove him nuts. His Rudy Tooth chicken he's got. There's his rooster.
First, who's hired to cook? Laugh out loud. KFC, here I come. Enjoy your KFC, Bomber Steve. Hey, okay. Lady Alaska, thanks for coming in.
Good morning, lady. She's like, what? Trust is up? What? Yeah, I beat you up today, Lady Casca.
Are you going to take a nap later, Trust?
Yeah, probably. I'll keep an eye on YouTube. If nobody's on, I may go live stream like I did last weekend. I really didn't mean to come on last weekend for long. And I think Saturday was like 3 hours and Sunday was like 5 or 6 hours. And people just kept coming on the panel talking. I'm not going to put them off. I mean, unless I got an appointment, I'd rather just let them,
How long did you end up staying live?
What, yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah.
Almost 5 hours.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I
I mean,
think I was on there for quite a while when you were live, and then I got up to use the bathroom, and I came back, and you were done, and I'm like, what? I was like, I wonder how long he was on there, because the last time I checked, it was like 4.5 hours.
yeah. Yeah, I think it was about 5 hours. And normally I schedule only go from like 11:45 to 2. You know, if somebody goes live and somebody tells me about it, you know, I try to shut the stream and send everybody over to them. Because hardly anybody ever goes live in the daytime. That's the only reason I do mine. For everybody left behind during the day, everybody forgets about all the people during the daytime. I'm really starting to think some of these creators are vampires because they only come out at night.
I know. I talk to a lot of people that do lives and stuff, and they're always asking, like, when should I go live? And you know, everybody goes live at night. And I said, yeah, so go live during the day. Like, it seems like, at least in the prepping community, so many people go live at night. And I'm like, come 10 o'clock, I'm in bed. I'm sorry, I can't stay awake.
Yeah, I used to be able to stay up till 12 or so, but no. I'm like you, 10 o'clock, I'm like,
yep.
But at 2 o'clock, I'm wide awake. I'm like,
right. Steve says, I don't think I could do that to have little pigs running around. I would fall in love with all of them and couldn't let them go. They're cute when they're little, but they're very destructive animals, and I am happy to let them go. Plus, they make me money.
Just like her normal diet, she switched over to keto. She went from piggies and she switched over to turkeys.
No, I still like my pigs and my turkeys. Can't get bacon out of turkeys.
Yeah, you can.
I guess you can, but it's not the same.
Yeah, it doesn't taste the same.
No.
I mean, I'm sorry. I like turkey a whole lot better than I do chicken. But I can't. I've tried, you know, how you do the, like KFC special recipe for, you know, for the chicken legs or whatever.
Yeah.
Try doing that to a turkey leg. It just doesn't taste the same.
No.
So I got to have chicken every once in a while. But I got to have real bacon. That's the only bad part. I got to have real bacon.
Yeah. Wickshire says 10 years ago, I ate for 3 months grapefruit, steamed chicken, and vegetables and just water. Yuck. I couldn't do that. No beer, no juice. I walked a mile or two every other day, and I went from 242 down to 176. That's awesome. That, though, eating that way would not be sustaining to me. I would die.
Yeah. Me, after about a week, I'd be binge eating at Dunkin' Donuts. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't do that to my body that bad.
No. Steve, I did like the green screen you sent me. However, don't be offended. That was a little scary for me. He did an awesome green screen for me, like a background, but it was like, it gave me goosebumps. It was creepy. It was like a scary movie, but it was really good. It's just not me. There's a little guy walking in the window, and it reminded me of like The Walking Dead or something.
Ooh, cool. Yeah, you couldn't do that at night though, all by yourself. The room's dark. You get the green screen. Yeah, I can't understand that part. I still have a light on when I watch horror movies.
Yeah, I don't do horror movies anymore. These like the creepy, like paranormal movies and things like that. I can't do it.
Yeah, and I have to admit, when I watched Halloween, the Rob Zombie one, I had a light on. But all his other movies, I've never had a light on. It'd just be the TV and me. But
I don't know what it is. Like the more realistic movies like that is what I like.
Yeah.
Like I can handle. I shouldn't say I do like them, but I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. It's not like ghosts and stuff. I don't like ghosts, and I don't like demons and things like that.
Yeah. Well, I can understand. It's like zombie movies. The genre has gone from the slow zombie. It went into gore.
Yeah.
And then now it's like a running zombies. You really don't see much, just blood splattered all the. And then you got the Walking Dead, where it's just all the facial stuff more than anything else. So like,
I like The Walking Dead. I'm a die-hard Walking Dead fan. I love watching that.
I still haven't seen season 10. I still got to watch that one.
The Wickshire Project. Jess, don't tell my kids that we eat turkey bacon here.
Yeah, I've tried turkey bacon. I can eat it, but it's still not the same. I'm sorry.
I can't say that I've ever tried turkey bacon, but I think that I wouldn't like it because I just love bacon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My uncle had a pig farm in Alabama, and I would go there and play with the piglets. Yeah, I do the same. I love my piglets. Don't get me wrong. I'll play with them and stuff like that. But when it's time for them to go, it's time for them to go. I will be selling bacon seed at the swap. Nice.
Well, I don't know if you've ever heard of a restaurant called Cotton Patch. But they're almost like Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
They have a deep fried bacon that they put a crust on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put them in a container just like fries. Oh my God, those are so good. Creamy gravy. I'm like, I eat that. I can't eat any more bacon the rest of the month because I know how many calories and everything else is in them for that one sitting. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, see, that's something that could inspire you. A recipe like that. Turn it keto somehow.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I can get a keto breading for the bacon.
For my breading, I'll either use almond flour or I will use crushed up pork rinds.
Huh.
So that might be an idea. Steve, StreamYard, I can't do a moving back a green screen. And I tried it on Melon, and Melon won't let me do it either. So the other option is I'm going to try it on OBS. I just got to figure it out. I haven't figured it out yet.
I was on somebody's live stream since he mentioned OBS. I'd never heard of OBS whatsoever. I logged off.
Yeah.
And the next day I logged back onto YouTube. And you know how all the channels come up when you look to see who's on and all that?
Yeah.
I had so many advertisements for OBS on there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never looked it up. What do I got?
And OBS to me is like so confusing. It's a lot to learn, and I'm trying to learn it right now behind the scenes, but it just mentioning the word OBS gives me a headache because it's just so high tech to me.
See, I'm just going to think OBS, one bacon snack. That's how I'm going to consider one bacon snack. There you go.
Yes, Steve, the cat scared me. And that green screen, there was a cat in the background meowing too.
Well, that's good to know. He answered my question because I always wondered about the green screens, if you can make them to move.
Yeah, you can, but you have to loop them. And I think you have to do it. You can't do it on StreamYard. You can't do it on any of those apps. It's not high tech enough. But I believe if you go through OBS and then go through StreamYard or Melon, then it'll work. But I'm still trying to figure out how that works.
Yeah.
Wickshire says reason for the weight loss was to impress my current wife. I met her in a super fit state. After marriage, my weight landslided back to my chubby self, back on my fast food. Yeah, I think when we get married and we settle down, we just get comfortable.
Well, you can see it a positive way or a negative way. If you're gaining your weight, that means your wife's cooking really good.
That's
If
true.
you're losing weight, It's complete opposite. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to get in trouble by somebody's wife. My first marriage, she couldn't cook for. She thought healthy was adding wheat germ.
Yeah,
Food.
that's not good.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I'll eat ramen instead.
Mm-hmm. Steve says he has lots of horror host friends. Yes, you do. He has some, like, if anybody on here doesn't know Steve Essex, go over to his channel. He does intros for people. He does trailers. He does all kinds of stuff. He's into the techie stuff. He's really good. If you've watched my channel, I have a little guy that gets hit with my emblem in the back of his head. That's his work. He's done a lot of my intros, most of my intros. He's really good. The only thing he asks in return is you just subscribe and like his videos. Awesome guy. I'm just not that high tech. I can't create stuff like that on my own yet.
Yeah. My fault is because I don't watch the YouTube tutorials. So I can learn how to download the movie or download my recording and then put it in and clip it and all that other stuff, add stuff.
Oh yeah.
I gotta watch all that. So I just film it on my phone, however it comes out, upload it. There you go.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like when I first started too, I was watching all the YouTube videos on how to do this and how to do that. And I had 2 screens up. I'd pause the video, go back to my screen, do what they said, go back. It was really time consuming trying to figure out everything.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning. I haven't gotten everything figured out yet.
I just can't wait till summer or it's warm every day. I want to be back out of my garage,
Yeah. What is
building wood stuff.
You're in Texas, right?
Yep.
What's the weather been like? Has it been warming up at all for you?
Well, let's see. What was it? Monday we're at 80 or 90 degrees. I had the heater on in the morning because it was in the 50s and it was cold. And then about 10 o'clock, I had to put the AC on because it was getting hot.
Yeah.
And it's been raining. We had tornadoes that night and rain, hail, and it's been raining all week. And it's cold at night and warm in the day. So.
Yeah. It rained here in Ohio for 3 days and I was so over it. And when it rained, of course, it dropped the temperature. I'm like, bring us back the warm weather. Because one day it was like 67 degrees and I was like, yes, finally warmth. And then it went straight into that rain and dropping the temperature again. I'm like, no.
Yeah. But I mean, when we got the rain that first night after the tornadoes and all that, I was up all night. I was in my bunker for half the night. And then when I came out, all the rain, you couldn't see our street. The only reason you knew where our street was because of the stop sign.
Wow.
It was over that, and I have like a step from the curb level when it goes to the curb to the lawn. Then I have another step to go up before you hit the sidewalk. And then you go up towards my porch, and there's 2 more steps. So maybe a foot and a half or so. Water was almost on my porch.
Wow.
I had sandbags ready and all that. I was ready to freaking block off my front door so water wouldn't come into the front door. I mean, it was a rough night. Just watching all that water. And we got anywhere from 2 to 6 inches that night.
Wow.
But when it has nowhere to go, you can't calculate who's going to get all the water first till it flows. And unfortunately, this is one of the first spots it all just comes to.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was worried about too when it rained for 3 days, because usually in April, sometimes in March, we'll see. It's the rainy season here, and we have a creek and a spring on the property. And when it floods here, it comes all the way up to my hip. It's like anywhere from my thigh to my hip.
Yeah.
And it's bad. We got to move animals to high land, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
So I've been patiently waiting for the flood season to go away.
Yeah. And that's what everybody always asks me. It's like, it floods there? It's like, oh, yeah. Now I'm not even in a flood zone. I'm on the higher up part. But the
Wow.
water has to go somewhere before it hits the flood zone.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I try. He says you're getting good at editing. You don't give yourself enough credit. I try.
What's editing?
It's something that's not fun to do, at least not for me. Some people love editing, but it's a headache to me. But I did, so everybody knows it's came in new. I'm putting out a premiere on Sunday evening. We redid the turkey pen, so make sure you go over and see that on Sunday evening.
Now, is it a pin or is it a run?
Well, it's an old dog pen that we turned into a chicken or a turkey pen.
Oh, okay.
And of course, like I always say on my homesteading videos, use what you have.
Yep. Do it on the cheap. Doesn't matter how it looks as long as it works.
Yeah.
And all the stuff. No, go ahead. Sorry.
All my chickens and my turkeys and my ducks and stuff like that, they are free ranged. And then once the garden starts coming in and everything, I lock them all up. And then after the harvest, they're free ranged again. So they don't really need anything permanent because I do let them free range so much.
So I tell you don't have to worry about predators then from up above as much?
No.
Oh, okay.
We don't really, knock on wood, we don't really have hawks or anything like that comes in.
Yeah. Well, we do here because people got chickens in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow the hawks found them all. Now they're all over this place.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people on YouTube talking about how they have hawk issues and they'll just come down and swoop them up and take them off. And I'm like, wow, I'm glad I don't have that issue. Now we have issues with like fox and raccoon and possum, things like that.
But you know, I'm like in a, I guess mid-sized town. I wouldn't call us a city. So you expect the hawks to be out like in the rural areas in the country and all that other stuff. No, they're all over here. You can see them flying around and stuff.
Wow, that's crazy. My area that we're starting to bobcats are starting to move back in. Like years and years ago, probably like in the 40s and 50s, they had lots of bobcats here. And then we didn't have any that I knew of since I've been around. And now there's been at least 4 sightings of bobcats just right down the road from me. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, the foxes were bad enough to deal with.
Yeah. The same thing here, but I think it's more because there's no, well, here in Texas, there's no food. Really, there's not much in the freaking country now for these wild animals because of the freaking wild hogs we got.
Yeah, I was going to
say.
Wild
hogs will go through everything. Even the deer are coming in, the coyotes are coming in, the bobcats are coming in. I'm like, because the hogs dominate when they freaking bring their whole million freaking pig freaking family in wherever they go.
Do you guys have quite a bit of like hog hunters out there or no?
During the pandemic, no. They tried starting up. They legalized it where if a farmer hired you, there was a no limit kill. But it had to be associated with a farmer or a rancher where their stuff was being threatened.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they start up again. I've been waiting. I made some good money. I mean, on it. Some farmers just, so much per pound of what you kill, and others is just that they give you a flat rate.
Wow.
Someone say, I'll give you $50 for every hog you kill. And some farmers are like, they're so desperate, they're like, I'll give you $30 a pound.
Wow.
And some of these animals get up to about 2,000 pounds. So you tell me $30 a pound?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's money. They're serious about trying to save their crops that they can grow and their livestock. And these hogs are freaking tearing it all up.
Good morning, Gardener Josh. Thanks for coming in. Now, I have have you ever ate wild hog?
No, I won't.
No.
Because they eat anything and everything to include themselves. So I don't try. I mean, I'm leery about catfish, but after you clean the catfish and all that, you've gotten all the weird stuff that they eating out of them.
Mm-hmm.
On a pig, no, that soaks into the meat. So
Yeah, I was wondering. I was just curious if like wild hog tasted different from domestic hog.
I've heard that they do. It's almost like deer.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I've never had wild hog myself, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I would eat wild hog either now that you've told me that. I mean, I knew they ate deer and things like that, but
Yeah.
who knows what they're getting into out there.
Yeah. And when I go deer hunting, I check that animal I shot too, and I'm like, please don't let it have the zombie virus.
Yeah, I know, right? That's so scary.
Yeah.
When they first came out with that and they were showing pictures of it, I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So I need to have that. And I know there's some poor sucker out there who's like, oh, I'll just cut the head off. That's the only infected part. Oh, no. It's in its system if it's on there.
Yeah. And I've been an avid deer hunter most of my life, and I've never seen anything like that in person, thankfully.
Yeah. Josh says the smaller ones are best for eating. I wouldn't know. It's probably because they're not eating all the stuff the big ones are.
Probably. They're probably they're more tender too, probably because they're young.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I sure as heck wouldn't want to come across one of them hogs in the wild, one of them big ones. Yeah. I was reading a story, and I can't remember where it was, whether it was Texas or Louisiana or something like that. And a woman went out to get into her car, and she got mauled by a wild hog.
Yeah.
I was like, that's horrible.
Yeah, my grandfather on his ranch got part of his calf taken off by a javelina.
Oh.
Luckily, he had his 357. He always carried his 357 with him. He blew that freaking hog's head off. But, I mean, and even when he died, he was missing part of his calf because that sucker took a big old chunk out of him. Because it came up behind him. He didn't even realize it was there until after he got bit. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
For me, I'd be the same. If I had a ranch, I don't be looking for javelina. I'd be looking for rattlesnakes more than anything else. And have a javelina come up behind you and attack you like that, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, nope.
So, yeah, that's why I was like, my grandfather was a real rancher because I was there and he didn't even yelp out of pain and all that. He just limped, wrapped it, went to the hospital.
Wow.
So I don't know how he did that because I would have been screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
They've been trying to sedate me and everything else. Ah!
Yeah. There's no way I'd wrap it myself and walk or drive.
Yeah. No, he did it. He wrapped it himself and got in the pickup and went to the hospital. He says, you stay with your grandma. Make sure that you keep a lookout for any more coming. And I'm like, if they took your calf, they're going to eat me. So Grandma, Grandma, you're staying in the house. And I'd be looking through the window, outside the window. Like,
that's hilarious. Well, trust in God, I might have to hop off here. Everybody's starting to wake up in the household and they don't want to be on camera.
Tough. You tell them tough. I run this household, or you don't eat breakfast. I'm just joking. I appreciate you letting me come up here.
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for you to kick me off.
Oh, I'm not going to kick you off. I'm just happy I had somebody on my panel to talk to. That's awesome. Thank you.
Hey, not a problem. Hopefully I wasn't too boring for you. You enjoy your day.
You too.
Your video on Sunday, which is tomorrow since it's Saturday now. And I'm going to write down here in a second, Turkey Tuesday. In honor of you and your turkeys coming. Okay.
Now, do you go live today at noon?
No, usually I don't do weekends, but if there's nobody broadcasting, I may. But like I said, if people are broadcasting, I don't try to step on them. If they're not, then I found that people on the weekends tend to want to do the same thing they do during the weekdays because nobody's on. I mean,
Yeah.
they may not be talking, but they're at least listening, and some people will talk on chat or the panel. So,
yeah. Well, if anybody in the chat doesn't know Trust in God First, please go check out his channel. Subscribe to him, like him, and when he goes live, check him out.
yeah.
But everybody
it's not
else,
about me; it's about everybody else. So, bring your subjects and come up on the panel and talk about what you want to talk about.
right? And everybody in the chat, thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. We hope you stay happy, healthy, and safe, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Yeah.
Bye.